Opt out, really, if you were to pick the NCAA tournament field today, USF would not be in it. The good news is they have 3 games specifically left in the regular season that would change all that if they win them, or even draw a result in all 3 of them. And this is the first one. This is an FIU team that is undefeated on the season, 9-0-4, a top conference USA. Just came away from playing the top 2 teams in that league and coming away with a last-minute win at Kentucky, and just the other night down in Miami, a scoreless draw against Charlotte. So the good news is some of these teams that the Panthers have drawn against, the Bulls have beaten actually, specifically, a couple of them. But the bad news is they seem to have that killer instinct this year where they're obviously tough to beat.
Yeah, records can be a little bit deceiving, a bit deceptive at times, can't they? But, USF has been playing well lately, and destiny is still in their hands. So if they do well, these next few games, then they'll be in a great position.
That's the absolutely true part of it all. The destiny is in the Bulls' hands. If they can win tonight, if they can beat UCF, they play Memphis, which incidentally, just like the 2 teams we just mentioned, is in the top 25 of the RPI. That's a bonus kind of, if you look at it that way, addition to their schedule from a computer ranking point of view.
Yeah.
Able to play against a very, very tough schedule here. But it starts here tonight against FIU. And we are underway at Corbett Stadium. The Panthers will go from our right to our left, wearing their gold jerseys and their white shorts. The Bulls going in all black for this game here tonight, as it is going to be a battle, I would say, right until the end. You look at Harrison Devonish-Mears in goal for the Bulls, and that is a big welcome back addition. He was ill last week, missed a couple of games, including that 3-1 loss to the Temple Owls, and his presence was missed there. As far as up front, very interesting thing that we'll be keeping an eye on here for the Bulls, and that is Ignacy Lupon in the starting lineup over Adrian Billhart. We will speak about that, I'm sure, plenty of times here tonight, but something of a different look for Bob Buthorn as far as the front line goes.
Yeah. I think what we've been saying all season is maybe one thing the USF can work on, improve on, is just getting that extra body in the penalty area on the end of things. They put so many good crosses in these games, and they haven't had anybody there who's just an out-and-out finisher, just to finish the play off. And maybe tonight, his coach is looking at Lupon as potentially being that person to finish some of these crosses off.
Yeah, he is, and that's going to be a very interesting case, because I'm going to guess anyway that this is the thinking of Bob Buthorn, to bring Adrian Billhart in off the bench and maybe have that spark, because as a starter he has struggled all season long. He has not scored a goal all year long, and Lupon did just the other day.
Yeah, I think that's it as well, isn't it? You get to this point of the season, you go with the hot hand, so to speak, and he's confident. Lupon, he scored a good goal, and I think you go with that.
Yeah, that is going to be something. He is a freshman from Barcelona. They really, really like him, Ignacy Lupon, so we'll keep an eye on him up front, along with Victor Claudel. So you have the 2 freshmen up front. In the back, the solid 3, and of course your wingbacks, Jonathan Rosales with the ball right now, Avion Flanagan, just recently named to the American Athletic Conference Weekly Honor Roll for his outstanding week last week. You have Chippy, Diego Guerrero, Henry Gallina in the middle as well, and Emilio Ikaze, who has just been a staple on the pitch for the last month or so of this season. No score. We are 2 minutes and change in to this very important contest for the Bulls. Normally this time of year, you just zero in on the conference sort of schedule and the standings and that, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but right now this is a different situation. It's lined up well for the Bulls. This is an FIU team, folks, that was 7-10 last year. They actually went undefeated regular season 2 years ago. Of course, made the NCAA tournament loss in the second round. So last year, they went 7-10. They lost their top 2 scorers. One was a senior, got drafted by Orlando City. The other decided to transfer to Indiana. So if you're 7-10 and lose your top 2 scorers, you're probably going to dip in record. Nope, they've been undefeated this year. And Alan alluded to it earlier. Maybe you schedule a little bit lighter with the situation. Last year's schedule was probably too tough for the Panthers. This year it's been a little bit easier, but still, make no mistake, they're not a team that's undefeated because of their schedule. They are very, very talented. They've added some freshmen. They've added a interesting case as far as a senior, Albin Rousselet, who is from France, and he's been one of their big-time goal scorers this year. They don't have the one jump out at you guy. They've got 3 different players with 5 goals apiece, so they can spread it out on you.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, they've won a number of games late. They've tied games, they've won games late, and that always gives you confidence. That whatever's going on in the game, you've been able to pull it out at the end and win a few games late, and that's great for confidence too. So this will be a tough game for USF. It's been a good start so far, though. USF, their shape's good. They're closing down. They're passing the ball well. I always find in these games, these top games, it's the first goal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Card here.
Yellow card right there.
Alan, I got to be honest, I didn't see what happened. It was time wasting or a little bit too much there from
Yeah.
FIU's Mohamed Condé, but he gets a yellow card early on.
It's you don't usually see the referee go to his cards this early, but that sets the tone right there from the referee. He's serious tonight.
There was nothing physical about that whole encounter. In fact, he has kind of almost a laugh conversation with Condé, but I don't think Condé is laughing right now.
No,
when you're on a yellow card.
He's on a yellow card after 4 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on number 21 for certain. That is not a bad development if you're the Bulls, I would guess. So again, in the back, they've got Sal Masafero, the freshman. It's so impressive how many great freshmen they have in this lineup. Javane Brown and, of course, Marcus Murphy. Ball sent out by Guerrero to Jonathan Rosales on the right wing. Dances around a couple of defenders and goes up to Ikaza. Great ball into the center of the park. Ikaza wants to switch it, as he does, to Avion Flanagan. If he can get a nice touch, there's a chance here, but no. It's fended off by FIU.
Yeah, it's going to be important for USF tonight to get Rosales and Flanagan the ball out wide. We saw against Jacksonville, the great serves, and now with Lupon up front, he's going to rely on crosses. That's his game. So he's going to make the runs into the penalty area. He needs service. So they've got to make sure they get plenty of good crosses in tonight.
No doubt that Lupon's performance, again, in a game last Tuesday against Jacksonville where he showed some clinical finishing skills, and you just see him out there lurking. He is a big kid, and a freshman doesn't look like one. And getting the start here tonight for Bob Uhorn, would not be shocked at all if Adrian Vilhard is the first off the bench. One thing that's very important to note is that the Bulls do have their starting goalkeeper back out there with Harrison Devonish Mears. He has not been tested at all as we've hit 5 minutes into this contest. Now FIU looks to push it up the park. Again, this is a team with 3 different 5-goal scorers, 2 more with 4, and they push it into the center. And boy, that header was on frame for a chance to be knocked in, but Ronaldo Marshall could not get a hold of it. Dangerous cross.
It's a warning, though, wasn't it? It's a warning.
Absolutely. That's a good ball in as well. And Javane Brown flies through the air to parry away the Cousins cross, but wow, right back into the center of the box goes FIU with Brown there to knock it out again. So the Panthers with a very, very experienced head coach, one that played professionally and was at FIU when they were starting to turn things around, and now has come back as a head coach the last few years. And you can just see they sort of have that professional outlook to them with Coach Nyland. Now the Bulls will win a goal kick here. So we are just past a 6-minute mark, no score yet, but you can tell that FIU is pretty skilled out there.
Yeah, the first goal is always critical in these games, and FIU's pushing, trying to get that first goal. USF well organised, keeping possession and moving the ball around, and hopefully can create a few more chances.
It's a late settling in crowd, but a good settling in crowd. We had a youth team pop in here, saw several members of the women's squad just sit down, and they're headed on a plane tomorrow to go out and try and finish their season strong on 3 road games to end it all and try and pip the number 1 seed in the conference tournament. Bulls will give you their conference outlook a little bit down the road, but that's not as important right now as taking this non-conference game if they can take it. And against, again, a team that is 9-0-4. 2 of those ties are against specifically Jacksonville and UNF, teams that the Bulls have defeated. And one of the other ties was the other day against Charlotte. But if you look at that Conference USA with FIU, Kentucky, and Charlotte, 3 outstanding teams, all in the top 25 nationally. And FIU beat Kentucky in Lexington prior to that 0-0 game against Charlotte. So really feeling it right now are the Panthers. Now they're trying to create a service situation, but Marcus Murphy jumps into that whole mess. Little tug on the jersey by Cousins of Emilio Caza actually works out for FIU, which gets the ball back. Adam Hassan able to play it back up, but there's Victor Claudel to steal it. He's got 1 on 4, so he's going to have to do some work here.
Yeah.
And FIU wins that ball. The odds were in the Panthers' favor.
Yeah, Lupon just wasn't quite close enough with him there to offer some support. Interesting tonight, you've got two freshmen, up top.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting, for them. Obviously not that much experience, but certainly will compete and hustle and hopefully cause some problems for FIU.
And FIU has a good balanced roster. They have a lot of the players back from last year's team. Again, one that went 7-10. A year removed from going undefeated through the regular season. They did beat the Bulls last year down in Miami in overtime. So, a team that feels comfortable right now going up against USF. I was at the game here 2 years ago where FIU was just dynamic and won that game, and they kind of have a similar vibe to them this year. We played 9 minutes, and no score yet. Bulls knocking it around really without a chance to get a shot on goal. It's this FIU team. You want to be steady if you can. Build up wherever you get the connections. And right now, again, the Bulls have been, you saw what happened against Temple the other night. Their coach specifically mentioned how the Bulls are dangerous on the wings, and right now they go that way with Rosales up to Claudel. There's a nice ball. Does he try and take it? No, he gets it to the corner, and he's going to lead to a corner kick for the Bulls. So as we're saying, not much there. Rosales got it started.
That to me is the play tonight. Is a great switch, get the ball out wide, great runs into the channel. Claudel, Lupon, and then you've got the other forward in the box waiting for the cross. That was a great move. We need to see more of that tonight.
Avion Flanagan, this is normally where Bill Hart would take the kick, so the first time that Flanagan would go over to the right corner and serve one in.
Yeah, this is Javion Brown territory again, isn't it?
No, he's running around there, and that's a great ball, but it's punched high by the goalkeeper for FIU, but headed back by the Panthers into the Bulls' penalty box. They'll take that every day. And then it's cleared away. Sal Mazzaferro has a free run onto it.
There's a lot of wind out there as well, isn't there? That's going to cause some problems for these corners and set pieces. So I'd like to see USF get these corners and set pieces. That wind is definitely going to be a factor.
Meanwhile, there's a Panthers player down. We'll see if we can get some eyes on who it is, and immediately the official is going to call for help from the training crew of FIU, and whoever it is holding the right knee. I don't have a number just yet. I don't want to say who it is, but whoever it is does appear to be injured. So we will take a short break here as we have played 10 minutes in this contest and no score yet between USF and FIU. This is men's soccer on USF Bulls Unlimited. Are you hearing that humming?
A little bit.
Okay, I'm going to try and change it on my end. That's the real reason I picked
mine. Also, my microphone is not sounding like it. I can't really hear myself.
Okay, I'll take care of that. Let's try this. Disconnect. Let's try this one. Now that's just, interesting. Ah, okay. Okay. You know what? It's my laptop.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll take care of that,
Okay.
obviously. That's good to know, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, because you can hear when I unplug the cord. I'll figure out where it's coming from. That's good. I can just unplug it.
Okay.
All right, we're back in 10 seconds. And we are back after that stoppage of play. And there's already a substitution on the other side with the injury, so it'll be the guy that, of course, Allen has been licking his chops, waiting to say his name all night long, coming in for FIU.
I've been practicing all week.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you do it. It's going to be AG.
AG.
AG is his name. His last name actually has, and I counted, which was probably the toughest part of my pregame work, 10 different syllables in it.
It's a fantastic word in Scrabble.
If you could get this in Scrabble.
Huh?
So we are 11 minutes in, and the first substitution for FIU coming out of the game is Marshall. Coming in is Andoni Gallo Galica Cheberia.
Well said.
Thank you. AG heretofore. That's a fantastic name. I got to be serious. Gallo Galica Cheberia.
Destined for greatness, aren't you, with a name like that?
Sounds like a guy that has some hyphens in there, but there are no hyphens. That is one full last name. So he is on to the pitch. Number 9, in all seriousness, will definitely be number 9 and AG the rest of the way. So an injury for FIU. We hope they're okay, of course. We'll keep an eye on the player that went out in that game, Marshall. You can hear the wind whipping.
Yeah, it's picking up, isn't it, the wind? And as we said, that's going to play a factor with set pieces, corners. It's going to be difficult for goalkeepers, any ball in the air.
Yeah, it was that way the other day for the women's soccer game against Temple, and it was in the Bulls' favor, and I think it actually impacted their goal that they scored because the Temple keeper was usually so solid, just kind of bungled it. And then as Temple had a couple of chances, it's funny, Aubrey McGrath's right in front of us, actually 2 feet in front of us, one of the players that could tell you about how the wind actually helped the Bulls the other day, but they are with it tonight in the first half, and that's, I think, what you want to be.
Yeah, it's very easy to misjudge, isn't it? Ball in the air and the wind gets it, and easy to misjudge.
So the Bulls and Panthers, not much going on so far in this game, but that's okay. I mean, right now, USF just trying to stabilize things and haven't really been pressured in the back, and that's important.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was watching Coach Butehorn at the stoppage there, and he was telling his players, to switch the play quicker and play the ball a bit longer. And I guess because you've got the 2 forwards that stay up the field, they've got to get the ball up there quicker, and they're not dropping back the way Bill Hart does. And that's going to be key, to get the ball up to these forwards earlier.
And you're right, the switching of the field has been a big thing, and it's usually directed from the back, and then Akaza will drop in a good ball from time to time, but we haven't gotten that aspect of the game here tonight, and FIU looking for a similar situation. It's not a bad ball up to Conte, the man that's on the card. Perhaps with that in the back of his mind, Marcus Murphy plays him a little bit tight there.
Yeah, good work from Murphy.
FIU wins
solid as always.
Yeah, very solid. Gallina, speak of solid, has just been the unsung player on this team. Even their defense, you would say, normally is unsung, but I think they've gotten a lot of praise. Saw the Temple head coach the other night said that the Bulls' defense forced them to do some things differently, and their setup did. But Gallina is a guy who's just not going to rack up the stats. I think one of these days he's going to convert into a reliable goal scorer because of his...
he scored a nice goal, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Against Jacksonville.
So we'll keep an eye on Gallina, but he is great to have on the team, and I don't think a guy that Bob Butehorn, the head coach of the Bulls, wants to spend much time on the bench with him at all. We have played nearly a quarter hour here, not much yet for the Bulls, even though that break-in by Claudel just led to a corner kick a couple of minutes ago. This will be a goal kick.
You saw that ball there, Guerra trying to play the ball into the channel for Claudel. Gallina earlier trying to play that switch pass out to Rosales. That's the play they're trying to play. He's trying to get the ball out wide quickly and then the ball into the channels.
FIU mentioned 3 players with 5 goals apiece, and they're all interesting stories. Specifically guys that you would not have picked to be 5-goal scorers in this season. Andrew Booth is a good example. He was a defensive player the first 2 years here for FIU. Grabbed a couple of goals last year and now has become a 5-goal scorer. And then talking about Alban Rousselet, the kid from France, who this is his first year in college, and he's come onto the scene as a senior, by the way, and scored 5. Caleb Frankie, similar situation. And they've got a bunch of other guys that can score. They've racked up a lot of goals in a couple of big games. I don't think we're going to see them put up a 5 or a 6 spot on the ball, but they've had a couple of those this season, so remember that. Victor Claudel gets it dispossessed. We've passed now the halfway mark. Yeah, they put up 5 in their opener, against St. Bonaventure 5-1, and then 6-1 against FAU. That allows you another 5-goal game against Old Dominion to sort of make those numbers look a little bit disproportionate. Not exactly the Duke and Virginia that they played to start off last season. And again, last season FIU went 7-10, finished 4th in the conference, actually above 500, but that out-of-conference schedule made it difficult for them to make the postseason, which the Panthers did not.
Interesting when you watch FIU, when USF has the ball, FIU plays two lines, line of 4 and 4 defensively, and they're very difficult to break down. You know, they're very compact. It's going to be difficult for USF to find any space there, so that's really where you have to get in behind the fullbacks, you know, and get the ball wide, and then you can pull the defense out a little bit. But it's going to be hard to break FIU down tonight.
And of course, a team that hasn't lost a game is always going to be tough to break down. They gave up 3 goals. That was the real big one against Jacksonville, and they were losing with 6 minutes to go, but scored a couple. So outside of that, they took them a while actually to get a clean sheet, but once they got that part of their game rolling, they have. Their goalkeeper is pretty strong. Daniel Gagliardi is a graduate from St. Thomas Aquinas. 12 games started in his career before this year, so he's kind of taken over as the guy. I would not say defense is the Panthers' specialty, so if the Bulls can put together the right combination, I think they're going to have some chances here tonight. Rosales intercepts the ball in the middle, maybe a combination chance here for Ikaza. Has Lupon in front of him, but it gets knocked away by the Panthers. Good job there by FIU.
Good to see Ikaza running with the ball, though. You know, taking people on. That's what you want to see. That's what it's going to take tonight. A little bit of individual, you know, brilliance to get past these guys.
He is certainly the man that can supply some individual brilliance. He has, and you know, we mentioned that FIU has drawn with a couple of teams that the Bulls have beaten. He scored 2 goals against Lipscomb, but has performed well against those teams that we specifically mentioned, Jacksonville and North Florida.
Yeah, he's become a regular in the team now, hasn't he? You know, he starts every game now.
And basically taken over for Stephen Rutherham in that regard. Now FIU on the right side, the ball was played up, and they're going to get a deep corner, as it was Caleb Frankie having the ball knocked away by Mazzaferro, but the Panthers will get a throw in here. With 18 minutes gone in this one, no score yet. Ball sent in. Mazzaferro just sticks that leg up, hopefully makes contact, and does. And Flanagan gets out of a situation there. Probably was fouled, but the ref's going to play on, and Lupon has the ball with Rosales. Now back to Lupon. Ikaza running. Oh, he just missed the connection there. That would have been a big-time canceled out advantage 40 yards up the pitch. So
yeah, nice quick break, though, wasn't it? Good quick break from USF.
Bulls with the throw-in. Flanagan. Touched down back to him by Gallina. AO to an unmarked Diego Guerrero. Takes a good touch, wants to have a rip, and that's not a bad one. With the wind at his back, he was feeling it, but it flies over the goal. It'll be a goal kick.
Good strike, good effort, though. As I say, need to test this keeper, particularly with the wind right now. You know, get some shots on goal.
Definitely the mindset there you can see from Diego Chippy Guerrero. Bulls do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically a whole different possible lineup stretching on the other end. So Bob Buthorn wants to get some subs in here. And as we're looking at FIU, nothing. They are going with the guys they have out there, apparently. No score yet. Bulls come in after a difficult decision in Philadelphia against Temple, but with a chance to completely cancel it out result-wise if they can pull off a win or even a draw here tonight. Ball sent forward well to Cousins, and that's going to go out of bounds. That's going to be actually Conde who earns the corner kick. Ball was sent up by Adam Hassan, a redshirt junior. If you're wondering, the Panthers do not have anyone from the Tampa Bay area, but plenty, of course, from the state of Florida. You're going to get a corner kick here. Bulls have to watch out. FIU has scored plenty of goals on headers this year, so anything in the air is dangerous. They only have one guy in the 6-yard box. I bet that's about to change. And Guerrero, one of the shortest guys on the pitch, is able to head it out. Oh, that ball is sent on. Not bad effort there and an idea by FIU, but well over. So it'll be a goal kick for the Bulls.
Yeah, it's good pressure on the ball by Claudel. Closed him down quickly and made him rush the shot and over the bar.
That was Mohamed Kandi, again, who is on a yellow card in this game. Transfer from the University of Mobile. His 3rd season, though, with FIU. They don't have too many transfers on the roster. And honestly, A couple of the transfers that came in 2 years ago didn't play last year. So that's not a transfer-laden team. Oh, that's a good ball up by Rosales to Claudel. He's got Lupin in the center. If he tries to feed it to him, a little bit too high there with the cross, though.
Yeah, but that's the play. That's the move, is to get the ball into those channels, good movement off the ball, and then get a few players into the penalty area.
Flanagan just ripped the ball off an FIU player, knocked down the corner flag, and now the Bulls get a throw in. The corner flag is gone right now. Now Gallina in the center tries to get it onto that powerful right foot and just can't touch it around the FIU defender. Good work there by Hassan for FIU. Steal or foul. Guess they're going to call that a foul by Claudel.
Yeah, my vote was a steal there.
Yeah, it was both. It was both. He stole it from him while fouling him. We should be very accurate here.
It's interesting watching Coach Butehorn as well. You know, he's got the subs warming up, but I think right now he's okay with the starting team, and the lineup looks good, and you know they're starting to get themselves into some good positions.
Turnover there, Claudel. It's a good spot. Rosales up to Ikaza. 3 guys on him though, and he can't make that decision quickly enough. Don't know if he should have tried to one-time it there. Nyland on the other end, FIU's head coach, is upset with that even being set up for the Bulls.
That was a bad mistake from FIU defensively there. Gave the ball straight to USF and almost got punished. Like to have seen Ikaza or someone at least have a shot there.
Yeah, Bulls, I guess, don't have a shot. Yeah, they are credited with one. Your guess is as good as mine. I can't really remember it. That's just kind of how this game is going. But that's okay when you have 2 strong teams. It's going to take a while to fill it out. And you look at some of FIU's scores against the better teams, it's taken a while to get things going. We mentioned how they score goals late.
Yeah.
They got the win at Kentucky on a goal with 2 minutes to go. They got the tie at Akron with 3 minutes to go. And again, I mentioned the scheduling. You hear Akron, you think, always a good team. Only have 3 wins this year, so they were that close to losing to Akron earlier in the season. But again, have come up big late, and Avion Flanagan almost loses that ball but tries to save it. He's going to really have to turn on the Jets to keep it in bounds, and he does. Great effort by Avion Flanagan after a clearance.
Yeah, good work.
Didn't quite go the way he wanted to, Gallina. Another game where we mentioned how they scored with a minute left to draw with JU. So basically, this is an undefeated team that has seen defeat very close to happening a couple of times. But they've got that confidence.
That's right. That's right. It inspires confidence when you keep pulling it out, towards the end of a game, and you start thinking that you're unbeatable. You're always going to have a chance to score a goal, and you'll take it. And they look very comfortable, FIU, defensively. So they're thinking, well, if we can get 1 goal, that may be enough.
Yeah, absolutely right. Claudel and Rosales with some nice work. Rosales sees Gallina as we get to the center of the park. Past the midway point of the first half. No score yet in this one.
I think for USF, they feel the same. They're very strong defensively. They look organised, good in midfield, nice and tight, and they are creating a few, half chances. So, chance for USF, if they can get a goal, that may be enough for them.
And that wind is really rocketing at their backs right now, so you wanted to see if in the last 21 minutes plus here they can take advantage of that, get a goal here against the Panthers. Would do on many levels a bit of good for the team, but also take advantage of the actual playing conditions right now. There's Javane Brown, who was able to blast the ball across the pitch, but Avion Flanagan was going in the wrong direction, so it'll be a throw-in. That's something that Brown certainly is capable of, that magical, quick, across-the-pitch switch, and now you see FIU try and boot the ball up the field, and that wind just catches it, and now the Bulls have it back on. They lose it out of bounds, actually. Linesman says it's a Bulls throw. Man in the middle disagrees, says it's FIU. 20 minutes and a half left to go in the first half. No score yet. Derek Sharp, Alan Anderson on Bulls Unlimited with this game between the 8-4 USF Bulls and the 9-0-4 FIU Panthers. Team that just has 2 matches left in conference play. I'm talking about FIU, and they have taken over the league lead. It was them and Kentucky and Charlotte, none of whom had more than 1 loss this season. And whoever was going to come out of those matches was going to be in first place, and it was a win and a tie, and that's why FIU is where it is there. Now trying to beat the Bulls here. Ball sent up nicely, crossed into the middle, but a little bit too much on that effort by Barraza. It'll be FIU losing it out of bounds. So fortunately, AG hasn't touched the ball much. I'm waiting for him to really get in the middle of that, so we have to talk about the guy with 10 syllables in his last name. No subs yet for either team, which I find very interesting, except for the injury. And that's the reason that Gero Garika Chabrilla is in the game. Thank you very much. Ooh, a little bit of a dive there, but certainly getting fouled was Emilio Icaza, and he gets the call. You're right, Bob Uhorn is really kind of exhorting his guys to work it right now.
He's, it's looking for them to release the ball a little bit quicker, to play the ball forward a little bit earlier where there's a little bit of space. What you'll see is FIU, they play 2 banks of 4. Their midfield, you can see right now, the midfield 4 and then a defensive 4. So there's not a lot of space. Once they get set and organised, there's not a lot of space in between the 2 lines. So you have to play the ball a little bit quicker, and then there'll be some space. And I think that's what he's trying to get his guys to do.
Well, they play it poorly there, and Frankie is able to intercept it now up to the right side. And there's our guy, AG. His shot is blocked by Mazzaferro. He knocks it back out, and now Icaza. Yeah, maybe you almost have
the space.
There, exactly. After FIU is pressed up, you almost have to take advantage immediately when you're going in the other direction.
That's right.
And right now, Claudel on the left side has Rosales on his right, sends it in the middle to Icaza instead. Back to Claudel. Thinks about lining up a deep shot, but has Rosales maybe for a service from the right. Gathers the ball. Has a man to take on. Gets it around him on a curl. And that's a great ball in, but headed nicely by FIU out of the penalty box. So the Bulls did what they were supposed to do there, but FIU was up to the challenge.
Yeah, it was unlucky there. That cross, if it goes another inch or 2 high and you miss out that first defender, that's a very dangerous cross.
Marcus Murphy just earned that round of applause for his work against Matias Barraza for FIU, but FIU gets the throw. 17 and a half minutes to go in the first half, and right now not much on for either team so far. Could be, the chances are relatively few here tonight, but Lupin has a chance now in the starting lineup. Drops it nicely to Claudel. Isn't sure what to do. Cuts it to himself. Does not have the clearance, so gets it back to Lupin.
Yeah, just didn't quite have the space to pull the trigger there and take a strike.
Flanagan gets it in, and it's in!
Goal.
It's a goal for the Bulls. It's Victor Claudel claiming it on the cross in by Flanagan. How dangerous is Avion Flanagan? Always creating something. And Alan, we've seen some goals that weren't exactly big-time strikes by the Bulls. I doubt that Claudel got much on it, but he got enough.
That's right. He does it all the time, Flanagan. He puts great crosses in and he hits them low. And always good things are going to happen when you put low crosses in, because it just needs a touch, even a deflection, a rebound, whatever. It makes it very difficult for defenses to defend low crosses. Another great service. Great finish.
There's the official announcement. It's Claudel. It'll be from Flanagan for certain, as he sent that ball across, just hoping someone would get on the end of it. And Claudel actually give him credit for sort of starting that whole play, because he sent it over realizing he didn't have much of a shot. And good job there by the whole young starting line for the Bulls up top.
Yeah, critical first goal as well. You want to get the first goal. Games like this, it's always good to get that first goal. It means FIU at some point has to come out now, and that will create some more space.
FIU just plows forward looking for an immediate response, but it's knocked away by the Bulls. Actually, a player goes down for USF with a cramp. It looks like a cramp. And by the way, speaking of cramps, and that's Mazzaferro. I don't know if you had the fortune to experience our humidity today. I got up at 5:15, which is when I get up, and my entire sliding glass door was just completely drenched.
And
I walked outside and I thought, you've got to be kidding me right now.
It's Florida, isn't it? It's crazy some days.
We're going to get a quote-unquote cold front tonight, which I put quotes around it because it's actually going to be nice for one day. I read the weather report. Don't get used to it. It'll be one day with no humidity.
Well, and cold front is relative, isn't it? I'm not sure it's really cold.
Nice move there by Claudel to Icaza. Has Flanagan on his left, going to take a low strike instead, and is caught well through the air by Gagliardi, but I like the idea by Icaza.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, USF is on top. They're dominating, and there's going to be some chances. If they can get a second goal, that's going to be crucial.
So Victor Claudel with the goal officially in the 28th minute on the assist from Avion Flanagan. See if they actually have given him officially the assist, because we are the unofficial scorekeepers. Yeah, there it is. And now you look at who's coming into the match for the Bulls. Two normal starters, Adrian Billhart and Josue Monje, along with Trey Jackson. So the Bulls can try and maybe add a little bit with three attacking
players. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. I think he's sensed that right now, they're there for the taking, FIU, and if USF can get a couple more goals in, put the game away early.
Well, again, this team has not lost, and if you're wondering, how many times have they been down in a game? A few. You mentioned the game they were down 3-1 in with 6 minutes to go, but they ended up getting a draw there. But that's why you want to go ahead and try and add to the lead. Don't just assume you're going to beat this team 1-0, because they have the capacity to score late, and they've done it all season long. They actually had 3 games in a row where they scored a game-winning or tying goal in the 86th minute or later. So don't leave it 1-0 is the sort of the charge here.
Yeah, well, they're working the ball from side to side. USF doing well. They're pulling FIU in and out, and working the ball from side to side, and then hopefully get an opening.
Great chip by Gallina. Rosales does well to play it in. Claudel wanted to volley it. It's up to Ikaza, and it gets blocked away by the same player for FIU. Got to get a number on him. Their jerseys are not exactly easy to read the numbers.
Yeah, I think he just took one touch too many, didn't he, Ikaza there? He settled it and then took another touch before he took the shot, and by that time it had been shut down.
To be specific, the back of the jerseys are easy to read, so that was O'Callahan for FIU, but the front, forget about it. And that's the same player, O'Callahan, who blocked both of those attempts there by Claudel and Ikaza. 14 minutes to go in the first half. Bulls have taken the lead. And
they've taken control, haven't they?
For sure.
They're definitely dominating right now. This has been a good spell for USF.
FIU, a team that's beaten the Bulls a couple of times in a row and has the national rankings. USF certainly looking more comfortable than the Panthers right now. It's Javane Brown up to Diego Guerrero with the lime green boots. Like that look. Oh, nice quick movement there from Ikaza. Claudel loses the ball but gets it back and up to Rosales. He's going to play a long ball in. Can Lupon get on the end of it? Look at that signal from Lupon. Keep sending me those balls, buddy.
That's the service he wants. And I think the wind got that a little bit, because it looked at first like that was right on the money. But that's the service that Lupon wants. He wants those balls played in early, let him attack the ball in the penalty area.
So we're going to have the subs up top, namely with, it looks like Bill Hart and Mohe strictly in for the 2 starting forwards, the freshman Claudel and Lupon coming out, and it'll be Emilio Ikaza coming out. So Jackson goes up front.
Jackson's going to play up top, and Monier's going to take Ikaza's position, which is Monier's favourite position. So he's playing just behind the front 2 in that kind of number 10 role where he can create things. I think that's his favourite role, rather than further up as an out-and-out forward.
This is very intriguing to me, because we will see Adrian Billhart off the bench, normally not what he's used to, for the last 12 and a half minutes. And something tells me he's going to be free and easy and maybe get something on here. Long ball up by Murphy up to Trey Jackson, who also can help out. So you got Trey Jackson and Adrian Billhart, fresh legs off the bench, while FIU did not make any substitutions. This is a key part of the game here. The Bulls up 1-0. Billhart well defended there, but comes away with it. Good work. Back to Mazzaferro. Bulls going from our left to our right again with the wind. They were able to take advantage of it. I don't think the wind really impacted that goal, but at least they've scored with it. Now Gallina. Oh, good idea. Good vision to Bill Hart on a low pass. Bill Hart on the right side. Oh, slotted to Rosales. Beautiful work here by the Bulls. Back out to Bill Hart, who will have a free ball in if he gets to it. FIU catches up to him in the corner. Bill Hart loses it, but is going to get a corner out of that.
Yeah, good energy from Bill Hart, right? Coming off the bench. Bill Hart, Jackson, they've added the spark right away, and I think he's got something to prove, hasn't he, Bill Hart, a little bit? He wants to show coach that he wants the playing time, and he's got to make an impact.
Go through Bill Hart's line and see how many times he's actually not started in a game in a little bit once we get a break. But right now it's a corner kick on for the Bulls, and it's Avion Flanagan.
Yeah, this is a good chance for USF. This is a dangerous position with that wind.
Beautiful ball, and knocked away by Gagliardi, ironically out to Bill Hart, who usually would take those corners, but Flanagan has kind of become that guy for the Bulls. Drops it back to Mazzaferro, sends a searching ball in, and FIU, good communication there from goalkeeper Daniel Gagliardi, is going to run on to the ball. So yes, Adrian Bill Hart, the junior out of Berlin. First season, played 15 games, started all but 2. Last year, 16 games, started all but 3. And yeah, this will be his first non-start. So there you have it officially of the season. 10.5 minutes to go. 1-0 USF. Halftime, we'll tell you what's going on around the conference. There are a half dozen teams from the league. We'll also sort of give you the conference setup, how it impacts the Bulls and everybody. Also tell you what's going on with women's soccer and other teams around USF land as well. Foul committed by FIU in the middle of the park. Boy, the Panthers try to immediately answer the Bulls' goal, but they have not had any possession for
No,
6 or
no,
7
they haven't.
minutes.
The FIU's midfield has kind of dropped deeper and deeper to help the defence, and that leaves the two isolated. If ever you want to see a typical 4-4-2, it's what FIU play. They play four at the back, 4 in midfield, 2 up front. I mean, it's very basic. Works at times, but other times, if the midfield doesn't get forward and help, those two forwards will be isolated, and they're not going to create much.
That's exactly how it's playing out. That's Alan Anderson. I'm Derek Sharp here at Corbett Stadium. Weather's supposed to get bad later on in the week with some rain-type situations. Might affect that Saturday game against UCF, but right now it's just a little bit windy. Marcus Murphy up to Henrique Gallina on the right side, right in front of us. Nutmeg by Murphy to get it to
Well played.
Bill Hart. Yeah,
Nice
well played
ball
right back.
movement. Yeah.
Oh, there's a good ball to Monhay. One touch to Jackson. Oh, and he knew what he wanted to do with the ball. He just forgot where the goal was. Sends it over.
Great move, though. Great one-touch play, pass and move. Great to see. They got some confidence right now, USF, and they're starting to find gaps, find spaces. They're looking dangerous every time they attack.
So great start here by the Bulls, but we don't want to.
Another giveaway. Yeah, they're making some mistakes, FIU now.
We don't want to repeat it too often, but just to remind you, this is a team that's used to tying and winning games late, so you can't be comfortable with 1-0 against FIU, and the Bulls certainly look like they want to add to the lead here in the last 9 minutes or so of the second half. Sending it back to Javane Brown, across to Sal Mazzaferro, the freshman who has essentially played every minute since he started here this year. The Bulls have several great freshmen, Victor Claudel up front, Mazzaferro in the back, but well-balanced roster. Harrison Devenish Mears, their goalkeeper, important to note, is back after a 2-game absence due to an illness. He hasn't had to do much tonight. Now Bill Hart gets the ball about 30 from goal. Oh, Flanagan unmarked. Great ball out to him. Another chance for Flanagan to send one in, and he's going to earn a corner instead. Good job there by FIU as Flanagan looked for that extra touch to get in on goal, but it was still going to lead to a corner.
Yeah, I mean, they're putting on a clinic right now, USF, passing the ball around. They look all comfortable on the ball, and they're putting on a clinic. It's great to see. The confidence is there, and they're creating chances.
What's your favorite music? The corner kick music, by the way.
Didn't work against Jacksonville. Let's hope it works tonight.
It's catchy, I'll say that. It is going to be, looks like Rosales out there playing the corner with some drive to it, but right over the goal, and it'll go out for a goal kick.
Yeah. Change the music.
Yeah, really hasn't worked. I mean, I like the consistency. You got to have corner kick music, but maybe a different tune. 7.5 minutes to go. So again, at halftime, we'll talk about the situation for the Bulls when it comes to their conference play, but don't make any mistake. This game, despite not being an American Athletic Conference match, is vitally important.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the Bulls, for many reasons.
Many reasons. That's right. That's right. It's a huge week, and if you can start this week, with a good win tonight, takes that momentum into the UCF game.
Oh, Bill Hart and Monhay with some good one-touch work. Monhay tried to send it right back, one touch to Jackson, so the Bulls looking very comfortable out there.
Yeah, they are. They're just looking confident on the ball.
You heard the clapping there as Guerrero just had a nice square ball back to Murphy as the Bulls look like they're almost in a training session right now.
Yeah. Well, and the good thing as well is having got the goal, they can be patient at times now, USF. They don't have to force anything. If they need to go back, they can go back. They're one up, so they don't have to force anything.
Out to Flanagan, and boy, just doesn't get anything on that. Had probably another couple of dribbles if he wanted them, and the Panthers are not marking Flanagan. It's kind of a weird gap in their, 2-4-4 system.
I think that's the first time I've seen Flanagan not deliver a great cross.
Yep, on Hay. He's got Rosales, sees him, sends it out, going to line one up here. Oh, he's got a cutter. He's going to take one himself, and if the keeper can't get to it, it's going to be a corner, and he does a great job, Gagliardi, of diving to get the ball, and he'll get it to himself to maintain possession. So the Bulls, Avion Flanagan is sort of drifting out on that left wing unmarked, and that's how the Bulls got their goal on his ball in that was knocked home. When I say knocked home, just touched home by Victor Claudel. Guy who has shown the ability to score goals in different fashions this year.
Yeah, that's a true poacher's goal, isn't it? You know, you just get on the end, just guide it into the goal, one touch. That's what you want from your forwards.
And for Claudel, his third goal of the season. It's hard to believe that he only had the 2 in one game against Louisville because he seems more of a threat than that, but that is indeed the case.
Yeah.
Flanagan actually is the team's points leader despite just having 1 goal. It's because of all the assists that he's been on the end of.
Yeah, he scored a great goal the other game against Jacksonville, didn't he? Last game. Fantastic goal.
Yeah, curled one in.
Yeah.
Shows you how dangerous he is with the right foot.
Yeah.
And he is the reason the Bulls basically had that chance to score. Oh, FIU has a runner here, and that's a good ball in, but the Bulls collapse. So quick close there on FIU. Maybe a long shot in, instead dropped to the right wing, and that ball sent in, and Harrison Devonish Mears was all over it. So Barraza and Frankie with some good work there for FIU, but nothing to it as far as stopping the threat for the Bulls.
See Coach Butehorn there, he's waving at Flanagan there. He let his man go. He was kind of caught asleep there, and he was wide open. So saw Coach Butehorn just give him a little wake-up call there.
I'm going to make sure I triple check my work that Claudel hadn't scored a goal outside of that one game. It just seems like he's way more threatening than that. I think I'm probably realizing that he also scored a couple in the preseason, but he is just great. And remember, he was injured for a few games as well.
Yeah,
Didn't play a few in a row. Now back to Mullenhay on that left side with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Bulls up 1-0. Claudel, indeed his 3rd goal of the season. And that would be 1 off the team lead of Ikaza. Bill Hart looking for that first one, had a step on it, but it got knocked away by FIU. Panthers.
Again, though, you see FIU win the ball and have to go back because they've only got one really up top at the moment, and he's isolated, so they're having to go backwards here, you see.
Oh,
and then
steal.
they lose it.
Yeah, a steal there, and Jackson gets it knocked right back away, but still has it. Oh, cuts it to Bill Hart. Here's a chance. Cuts it to his left foot. It's blocked off. Now to Mullenhay, and he can't quite get it in the box, but Jackson still has a chance as the ball gets out to him. Trey Jackson taking his time, moving it on to the left, crossing it in low.
Oh, great
that was
cross.
a great ball. Go ahead and tell me. I know what you're going to say, Alan, because I think that Bill Hart should have had a one-time there.
Yeah, and that's sometimes his confidence, isn't it? You know, you got to take the strike. I mean, it's not always going to be perfect. It might not be on your best foot, but when you're in a position like that, you got to let the shot go and hope for the best.
And we're talking about Adrian Bill Hart, who 5 goals 2 seasons ago, none last year. I'm sorry, none this year. None last year and none this year. And it's just hard to believe, and you can see it in that sort of display as he had a chance in and tried to cut it back, get too cute. Sometimes you just have to let it rip.
The other thing as well is that cross that came in there went right across the 6-yard box, and both Lupon and Claudel were sitting on the bench thinking, boy, why wasn't I back in there? Because that would have been an easy finish for either of them two.
So the Bulls have just had 1 wave of substitutions, the 2 up top, along with central mid with Mullenhay and Ikaza switching spots, and now they're going to send in with 2.5 minutes to go a last wave. Freddie Gill, Gordon Phipps, and Richard Laval. Again, his reemergence on the lineup, into the active lineup anyway, after being hurt for much of the first part of the season, has, in my opinion, been a big boost for the Bulls. See if they get into the game here. Yeah,
you see USF just keeping possession right now. They're not under any pressure. Everybody wants the ball, which is great to see. Yeah. And they're not having to force anything. If it's not on, stop, come back, start again. They've got the goal, so they don't have to force anything. This is good to see from USF. It's maturity, it's experience now. They've been in these situations. They know what to do.
We are under 2 minutes to go in the first half. USF has that goal. As Alan mentioned, it is 1-0. So Mullenhay with a nice touch out too.
Yeah, it's not on, so they come back and start again.
Guerrero, feeling no pressure, not having to force your way up. Oh, good switch there, and Bill Hart's going to try and knock it over here. And does so well. Rosales, great. Sending him on a diagonal run, has Jackson in the center. Oh, that's a great ball, but it's knocked away by FIU. Still, Rosales has it. Jackson gets it around. Oh, great move to get it onto his foot, and it's saved beautifully.
What a great
by
save.
FIU. Jackson, it's still on for the Bulls, and Jackson is thwarted again by Daniel Gagliardi. My goodness, a great setup, and now you got to be careful because FIU is on the counter, but they had to hold their runs there. Wow, what a save, and what a great effort there by Jackson to set himself up.
That was some great action right there, wasn't it? That could have been. They could have scored about 3 times there, and what a save from the keeper, though. It was a fantastic save, and then a chance right after that. So
sometimes we talk about being too cute, but Jackson knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He pulled it from right to left, and then just back to his right and ripped it. And Gagliardi
Yeah,
Again,
it's a great save. He's a big, tall keeper, isn't he? And he's
6'3", yeah.
His arms almost come down to his ankles. Looks like, and he's definitely got reach on that one.
He's Trey Jackson's least favorite goalkeeper right now, as he prevented him from making it 2-0 in the last minute.
Yeah, that would have been a great time to score as well, wouldn't it?
Wow, what a great save. Javane Brown up, trying to get something else going on. Remember, it all started with the Bill Hart ball up on a cross to Rosales with 20 seconds left. He's going to try and throw it in here. Bulls have to get it going if they want to score here. Bill Hart back out to Murphy. 14 seconds to Bill Hart.
Yep,
Needs to look forward here.
Yeah.
Oh, a nice dummy by Jackson. He's got Rosales. Gets it to himself. He's going to have a rip. Instead out to Flanagan. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. He's got time to shoot it. And there's a shot, and it's saved at the death right there. As Flanagan to Monet. He knew he heard the countdown. Goodness gracious, Alan.
Well,
have you ever seen so much action in the last minute?
That was almost the perfect timing. The last kick of the first half. Another great save from the keeper. He's kept them in it. FIU's goalkeeper.
Well, let's mark that down. It's not like FIU had any chances to score after the Bulls took the lead, but the Bulls had 2 golden opportunities in the last 90 seconds or so, stopped by FIU. That keeps the score 1-0. Wow, what a wild end to the first half.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. We spoke after the first half of the Jacksonville game and said, you know, they were 1 up, same score, but were a little bit underwhelming. You know, they'd hit the crossbar, okay, but they really hadn't taken or created a lot of chances. Tonight, the opposite for me. Fantastic first half. It's the best I've seen USF play in terms of they having, you know, a good solid start and then getting on top, starting to dominate, playing the ball. Everybody wants the ball, and now they're creating some great chances. Been a fantastic first half for USF. Really, really impressed.
We will take a break. We'll come back with a look at the whole conference situation for the Bulls. Also let you know what's going on with the women's team as well. Here at Corbin Stadium, it's at halftime USF 1, FIU nothing. This is men's soccer, USF Bulls Unlimited. I'm guessing anyway, both teams want to try and get on the front foot here because there's still 30 seconds on the stadium clock. They said, let's just reset it and let's get going.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, Alan, and I think we'll see it right away as the Bulls go from our right to our left to try and get that second goal. There's no messing about here.
Yeah, I mean, they finished the half real strong, USF, and very unlucky, not to score a second goal. Gagliardi in the FIU goal has definitely kept them in it, made a couple of fantastic saves at the end of the half there, and USF a little bit unfortunate not to be 2 or 3 goals ahead.
Daniel Gagliardi, again, keeping FIU in it, now a free run in, but held up a little bit from Stephen Afrifa. And got to mention one player. We talked about how they have 3 players with 5 goals, and Alessandro Campoy also was one of those 3, and he's not playing. He has not played since the FGCU game, so only went 11 minutes in that one, injured, and missed the last 2, so the Bulls not facing the full force of FIU right now. Certainly worth mentioning. Looks like the same team that ended the first half, namely no Claudel and no Lupin out there for the Bulls. Yeah,
the team that came out has started.
So that means Bill Hart, who's usually the starting forward, is up front. Already pursing himself into the play is Faye for FIU, making his presence known. Didn't really do much in the first half, and now FIU on the counter. Up the left wing. Situation here maybe against the Bulls, but Mazzaferro plays it out. You can hear the goal mouths making some noise for the Bulls. Don't get a lot of chanting at the games, but we'll always welcome that.
Yep.
Great presence here. Bill Hart can't quite get that one to himself. Yeah, no wonder we didn't see Faye in the first half. He didn't play, but he is already number 3 right in front of us here trying to spark the Panthers.
That's what they're going to need to do, isn't it? They're going to have to play some more offensive players, FIU, to try and get back in this game. And that's going to create a few extra spaces for USF. As FIU has to come out and attack, USF hopefully can exploit some of the space.
Yep, still looks like that. As you mentioned, 4-4-2 lineup for FIU. Bill Hart.
Great ball into the channel.
Wonderful ball and well received by Bill Hart.
Yeah, great first touch by Bill Hart.
Not easy to do it while flying through the air on the run to chest it down within 2 feet of yourself. But that's exactly what he did. Flanagan tried to get it back to him, but it's FIU ball. Daniel Gagliardi again made 2 critical saves, maybe 3 really.
Yeah, he did. I mean, as I say, he single-handedly has kept FIU in this game for me, and it would be nice to have seen USF get a goal right at the end there, but they've got to just keep doing what they did in the first half. I think that's what Coach Buchhorn's going to, has said to them at halftime is, look, we're doing everything right. Don't change anything. Just keep playing how we're playing. Chances will come, and we will score some more. If we keep creating chances, we will score. Good ball up by Rosales to Trey Jackson. Has Monhay trailing, but he's going to try to take it on. He's been denied a couple times. He's going to get another shot, and again it happens with Gagliardi saving the ball. Man, he had 1 save through about 43 minutes, but now he's up to 5 because of, 3 against Trey Jackson. Yeah, Jackson's starting to get frustrated with that goalkeeper. He keeps saying, look, I keep putting it on target, and you keep saving it. He's going to have to dribble it around him. Just, walk it up, face his demon, and go that way. One thing that's important to notice, to point out here is, again, I was at the FIU-USF matchup a couple of years ago, and FIU had the record. Again, they were undefeated in the regular season, and they looked the better team. Tonight, USF looks the better team. It's not like they're holding on by a thread right now. Monhay has a chance on the right side, looked for Jackson, but it gets knocked away. Now, Rosales getting in, feeds it into the box, but it's through a body of, or a host of FIU every time they attack USF, they look like they're going to score, which is great to see.
It's wonderful to see. Yeah, FIU took a 2-1 win in 2017, but it was a little bit more disparate than that score line. Now FIU, good ball on the left side, but a poor service, and the Bulls will say thank you very much and take the goal kick. Yeah, it's interesting. You look at the first half. I mean, USF had 8 shots, 5 on target. FIU 1 shot on target, no corners. USF 3 corners. But you look at the possession, it was 50-50. And that's why stats are not always for me a true reflection of the game. I mean, to me, USF totally dominated that first half.
I wouldn't have said it was a 50-50
No.
possession-wise, but
I'm not gonna pick on that stat because that's got to be the toughest one to keep.
I don't agree with that stat in any possession.
What would
to
you
me.
say?
It's-
60-40?
I would have thought at least 65-35, somewhere in there. Yeah. But
Well, at
just
least
shows
the-
you, possession doesn't really mean too much, does it? Really, it's what you do with the ball when you have it.
Correct. At least the feel of it was a 60-40 feel. Even if FIU held the ball, they didn't really threaten often when they had it. 5 minutes into the second half, Adrian Billhart, a good touch over to Trey Jackson, who maybe wants to give it up now as he keeps banging his head into the brick wall that is Gagliardi. Maybe he'll find some success with an assist. But now, as that ball was sent in by Billhart, it was off an FIU player for a corner, and I'm guessing you'll see Avion Flanagan sprint on over there or jog on over there. No need to sprint at this point.
Yeah.
Take the corner kick.
Brown's coming up. He's scored a few from this position, from this side, previous games, and with the wind now, it's going to be a completely different situation now. The wind in the second half, so it would be interesting to see with this corner whether Flanagan really drives it in or just hangs it up there a little bit.
Yeah, because the wind will blow it away from the goal, and he's going to go lefty with it. So,
knowing how well Brown jumps, from a standing position, attacks the ball, it could be a.
It's a low trajectory, and it's tipped up nicely. Rosales heads it down, but Gagliardi, with his defense helping him out, had a clean look at it. Oh, good interception by Mazzaferro as FIU looked to break in. Can he keep the ball inside the touchline? He does to Flanagan. Well done there by the Bulls on both ends there. Crossing Henrique Gallina, and that might have gotten Gallina in the hand inadvertently. Fortunately, he was the offensive player in the penalty box, so nothing harm there, but it's going to be a free kick.
Not much he could have done about that, though. I always kind of think with those handballs, it's you have to give it. It did hit him on the hand, but not much he could have done with that. It was a rebound and it just bounced up onto his arm, but he wasn't trying to gain any advantage from it.
So to recap, this FIU team, and we mentioned how 3 games in a row they scored a late goal to either tie it or win it. Those were all on the road. That's important to note. This is not a situation where they're feeling like they're out of the game. And now, with a chance, as the ball is stolen at midfield, sent up by FIU, and a decent shot attempt, but knocked away. It looked like Murphy, on that. Oh, ball sent in. Devin Smears has got to get to it, and he barely does, as Faye was ready to knock it in, and Devin Smears won it. Absolutely.
Had to get a touch on that.
So that looked like Campoy, by the way, who was on the run there, the guy that we said had missed a couple of games, but they've inserted him at the half as well. So FIU is saying, let's try some new guys, and he started that run.
It all came from Flanagan being a little bit too casual on the ball there. That's a couple of times now. Coach Butelhorn has come to the sideline and just kind of waking up a few of the guys. They're just a little bit overconfident, a little bit too casual there. They've got to realise, hey, we've been dominating the game. We've outshot FIU. We look dangerous every time we get the ball, but we're only 1-0 up. And the history with FIU this year is they score late goals. So don't lose concentration.
It's great to be confident. You love that part of it, but you have to be cognizant of the whole situation is what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Ooh, ball just misfired there between Mazzaferro and Flanagan. So it's up top for the Bulls, Trey Jackson, who has nearly scored 5 goals since he's been on the pitch for about 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and maybe 4 goals to be accurate, but you get the idea. And Adrian Billhart off the bench for the first time this year was Ignacio Lupon, who got the start. Now the Bulls look to counter. As Monhay up to Jackson, good one-touch ball. He's got Gallina running. Can he find a gap to get it to him? No, he can't. The ball is going to ricochet over to the right side.
Yeah.
Good run by Gallina. And there's a foul called against the Bulls as Rosales might have earned himself a yellow.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have a problem with that. It was an absolute, not a break-in on goal, but a clear situation for FIU to move up the park with Stefan Frifa, and he yanked him by the jersey.
The only thing for me there is they did have 4 guys at the back, USF still. It wasn't like they were outnumbered defensively, and now he's got to be careful for the rest of the half.
I don't mind it because this official gave a card early to FIU, and he's apparently one of those guys that's not going to take those yanking on the jerseys to stop a play. So now there's one against Rosales. That's a ball sent in by FIU, cleared away well by Javane Brown. Good idea, though, by Green for the Panthers. Owen Green, a defender out of Miami. Go figure, they have several players from Miami on their roster.
I wonder if Freddie Gill's going to come in here for Flanagan.
Well, that would be interesting because Flanagan has had a couple of poor connections, but he also has supplied so many chances, and you're right. Good call, Allen. as the numbers go up, it's 27 coming out.
He's going to get a little talking to from coach as he comes off. A couple of times he's just kind of been a little bit too over casual, and you can see that coming. Coach is coming off the bench. He's just going to give him a little talking to. Hey, come on, you just keep your concentration. Got to keep doing what you've been doing, and don't get too casual here.
Freddie Gill, certainly a regular off the bench for the Bulls. Get a start here and there, and is a catalyst. And he's going to play that left wing, just as though Avion Flanagan's a no alignment change for the Bulls with that substitution. Popped up by Rosales. He saw Bill Hart, but a little bit too much for him. So Freddie Gill from West Palm Beach, junior, smallish, listed at 5'9". Going to say that's a little ambitious on the roster chart.
Always does well when he comes on, though. He's consistent. Yes. He tracks back. He tucks in. He gets forward and creates some good opportunities as well. So good player to have coming off the bench.
Oh, that's a great ball for FIU, and it's a chance here. And Harrison Devonish Mears must have really knew where he was on the field, because they did not move to try and save that ball, and it was wide by what, 2 feet?
Yeah, that didn't miss by much. That was, like you say, that was either great, great decision by Devonish Mears there to let that go, or he was beaten and just was praying that it was going wide.
And it was Campoy again, the guy who is one of the 3 on the team with 5 goals, but he hadn't played since the FGCU game. That was 2 games ago, so he missed the last 2.
It's interesting that what a half time can do sometimes. They finished the half, USF. They didn't want it to stop. They were well on top, creating a bunch of chances. You have the break, and now this first 10 minutes, USF have just been just a little bit lax, a little bit sloppy at times, and it's allowed FIU to get back into the game.
They've had a couple chances for connections that have just missed. If they can connect on one, I think we're going to be in good shape here. Mullenhay saw Gill on the left, gets it back. Now sends it back across the midfield stripe to Sal Mazzaferro, the freshman for the Bulls. Good ball up to Bill Hart. Well marked, though. Practically climbed upon by FIU, so he's going to send it to Mullenhay. Good work.
Yeah, it was great work by Bill Hart. Always makes himself available. He's a great target guy because he holds the ball. His first touch is so good. Holds the ball up well.
There's one of those connections I was talking about that was just missed by the Bulls, knocked away by Owen Green for FIU as Gallina had Gill sending him into the corner, but just missed. I think the Bulls are about a foot away from having someone get in on goal here. 33 and a half. Here's a chance. There it is. Bill Hart is on. Can he chip it? He gets by. Will it be saved off the line? Oh, my goodness, it will. It beat the goalkeeper. You could just tell it was going to be a race to the line. And FIU wins the race, so close to Bill Hart's first goal of the year.
He's thinking, what do I have to do to score? What do I have to do? I mean, he did everything right there. He got to the ball first. Great run off the ball. Timed it perfectly. It was clearly onside. And put it on frame. Just not quite enough heat on it.
Maybe could have put a little bit more onto it.
Yeah.
And it was one of 2 players. I apologize for not seeing who cleared it off for FIU, but the point is, it just got knocked off the goal line. And the play was in front of us. I mean, you could tell there was a chance for it not to be a goal, but it was definitely over the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was beaten.
Well, and Gagliardi, he come off his line quickly, and it made Bill Hart have to kind of play it early, and wasn't quite able to get enough on it. But hit the target. That's all you can ask for. And as you said, they're creating chances. USF. That's the main thing, and the goals will come as long as you keep on creating chances. You're going to score.
That's one of the as the ball goes out for a goal kick for the Bulls. 32 minutes left. The Bulls are up 1-0. Have had many chances to score, especially late in the first half, and just now as the ball was cleared off the line by Adrian Bill Hart's shot. One of the quirks of some people, they say it can't be a shot on goal if it wasn't saved by the goalkeeper, but guess what? That was a shot on goal for sure, because it was going right down the heart of it. Adrian Bill Hart pointing for another chance. Wants a ball from Jackson, who instead sends it back to Mullenhay. Out there on the right side, into the FIU half. Good switch opportunity here for Bill Hart, as Gill's saying, give it to me, and he does. Gill with a nice push. A good ball in across, and Jackson goes up, misses the header attempt, though. FIU, though, has to play it. This could be a corner chance for the Bulls, but it's played actually well out by the Panthers' Nick O'Callahan. But the Bulls get it back. Oh, a little bit of an injury for USF, but they'll play on with the chance for Jackson. To Bill Hart, tries to one-time it. Gallina with a chance. Flicks it around Gagliardi. He's out of his net. But he has 5 people behind him. And now it'll be a throw. Was it corner? Okay, it went out on the goal line. That's Murphy, by the way.
Murphy got hurt as well there, yeah. As he played the ball, FIU player just left his cleats in and caught Murphy. It's lucky he's back up on his feet.
Yeah, he is limping it out over there. So, again, a chance for the Bulls there, as it was Jackson feeding Billhart if he pulls the trigger one time, but after what had just happened to him, I know he wanted to get a better look.
Another great chance again, though, wasn't it? You know, it's been a game of near misses, isn't it, at the moment? But if they can get another one, USF, they're definitely creating.
Corner kick music. Trey Jackson, I think that went off of FIU. No, it was a shot that just went wide.
Just mistimed it a little bit. But, you know, you're seeing a bit more space now on the field as FIU is starting to push. You know, they've brought some more attacking-minded players in, and obviously they don't track back as much, so there's a bit more space in the midfield, and then that obviously opens up spaces into the defense as well.
Foul called against Sal Mazzaferro, who has been very active tonight. Admits that one. So the Bulls, again, with 3 golden opportunities late in the first half to add to a 1-0 lead. They're playing like a team that's losing as far as their efforts to try and score a goal, and I'm almost positive it's because they know FIU's track record of pipping goals late in games.
You know, they've done their research, and you know Coach Buthorn has told them that.
Good ball around on the left side by FIU, and Javane Brown rides a Panther off the ball very well, and Gill gets it. That was great work there, as Stefan Afrifa had a fantastic run in there, but Brown said, no, not right now. So now the Bulls with the numbers, if they can send the ball across, will it get over to Gill? It does. Nifty ball over by Rosales. Gill on the left wing. Looks to cross it in, and a little bit too much on it.
You can see what he was trying to do there. He was waiting for Billhart to make his run and try and pick him out. Just put a little bit too much on it.
Still 1-0. And again, the Bulls will be at home Saturday night against UCF. Incidentally, from a digital channel point of view, that will be on Bulls Unlimited too. This is the whole reason we have 2 channels devoted to USF sports, because the football broadcast will be on Bulls Unlimited. So tune in for that. I'll be here calling it, but if you can make it to Corbett, do. Good crowd here tonight, hoping the Bulls can see this one through. And there's a collision and out of the net. Let's see what the call is here. Devonish Mears collided with an FIU player, and actually FIU had a chance there. On the aftermath, I didn't see a foul really committed on either side. The player for FIU was the one we've been talking about, Campoy. And Campoy tried to get ahead on the ball, and they collided. No one actually got the ball. You can't call a foul there, but I think the official was just worried about the players on the pitch. Yeah, and if you're FIU, and you can see their head coach is complaining because it did look like the run of play would have given them a chance to play it. Now, was that a foul called against that?
He's called a foul. He's pointed. Okay. He's pointed. You know, for USF. So he's called the foul. But was it? When was it a foul? I didn't really think so. But I guess when you see guys go down like that, you have to stop the play. And he did call a foul. I mean, he pointed that way. So
yeah, Kevin Nyland, the head coach of FIU, is completely befuddled, and I think he agrees with you. And not only was it not being a foul on either team, according to Nyland, and we agree, frankly, but FIU would have had a chance with an empty net to get a shot off. But instead, the Bulls with Billhart up. He's got Jackson in front of us. Oh, and that's got to be a foul. Absolutely a foul. Just outside the penalty box, but a chance here for the Bulls. And I think FIU may get called for a card, but this is right outside the penalty box. And let's see if Gallina comes up to take this one.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because it's right on the edge. So it's difficult sometimes when you're this close. You've got to get it up over the wall and drop it down under the crossbar, or you blast it and you hope for something, you know. So this might be a left-footed.
I was about to say it's got to be a.
It's got to be a left-footed. Right? And I'm thinking Billhart maybe is going to maybe try and curl one, or.
Well, he's the left-footed player out there. Rosales and Monje are out there now. To me, what you're saying makes complete sense, Alan, and that is Monje would just be the dummy here. And Billhart would actually take the kick. However, in the interim, there is an FIU player down, and I wonder if it's still Campoy based on that collision.
Yeah.
If it's number 10, I'm saying that's after effects, and it is.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, he looks a bit groggy, doesn't he?
Yeah, let's hope he's all right, because that was a big-time collision. And Harrison Devonish Mears is a big kid playing goal.
He was brave there as well, and you have to be there. You know, if you hesitate and you just kind of try and pull out a little bit, you're going to get hurt. So you have to, once you commit, you have to go all the way, and both of them did. So they're both actually fortunate, and I think by doing that and being aggressive, they actually prevented themselves from getting a bad injury.
So Campoy comes out, and it'll be Andoni Galogalica Echeverria coming in. Did you want to back me up on the pronunciation there? And he is going to jump right into the wall. So the freshman from Doral is going to get in there, and he's going to announce the name.
Let's wait for this.
This will be good. Come on, say it. Ikaze in for the Bulls. Oh, he's not going to say it. There's no Whoa.
Oh, he's been practicing. He's
Nailed it.
not quite as good as you, but he's been...
Nailed it. That was outstanding.
Yeah, he's got a big smile on his face. He's very impressed with himself. He's hoping he hasn't got to do that again.
Yeah, exactly. One and done on that pronunciation. All right, so Bill Hart, again, this is from the right side, which would seem to be a shot a left-footed player would want to take. Gagliardi is guarding the near post. Now he gets into the center. So maybe opening up the near post if Bill Hart can lift it perfectly here. He has skied a lot of these this year. Keep that in mind. And I know he knows that. All right, Monhay is the right-footed player. He's standing closer to the ball. Bill Hart is going to take it and near post.
There it is.
Go. Boom!
Great finish.
Underneath the crossbar. And the drought is over for AB. Adrian Bill Hart actually almost casually walked up to that ball and put it home for a 2-0 lead.
Made it look so easy, didn't he? I mean, that's a tough skill right there. That is a very difficult play. You're right on the edge of the penalty area. You've got to get it up over the wall and drop it down. And a very good FIU goalkeeper, by the way. And he made it look simple. Very, very good finish. Great. That's a great skill right there. And great to see Bill Hart finally get his goal. He's earned it. He's deserved it. Very pleased for him. Fantastic.
You said made it look easy. And I think maybe it looked like he just simplified it so much there. You know, two quick steps, boom, boom.
Yep.
If he saves it, who cares? But put it on frame.
That's
and
right.
It actually hit on the underneath of the crossbar and on that near post side. It was beautiful.
Couldn't have played it any better. I mean, that was unsavable. Just because it was above the crossbar and then just dropped at the last minute and just come in. So no way Eliade can get the goalkeeper could get that one.
5 goals, 6 assists as a freshman 2 years ago. 0 and 4 last year, and then no goals this year. And he had the goal against Tulsa, which again not recognized by the NCAA, even though the Bulls finished up that game. So officially now, Adrian Bill Hart is on the score sheet. That's
he will
tremendous.
be shooting now from everywhere. You'll believe me. Once you get
right.
that first one, he will be.
He just sends it up the ball.
Yep.
Now the brakes are on for the Bulls. This could be fun, folks.
He'll be getting in the penalty area every time now.
He might have 8 more shots in this game with 27 minutes left in it. Ikaza, part of that substitution.
Good ball
into Gill. He's going to take a header and down and on the side netty, but a great effort. It'll go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, great ball from Ikaza. Great vision. Just the only thing there with Gill is, for players, when you're coming in like that, you've got to head across the goal, back where it came from, back across the goal, rather than miss it on the near post. But great move. More chances coming here, and if USF, again, they're knowing that FIU does score goals late, another goal or two will put this game away.
Yeah, well, they have come back from a 2-goal deficit once, but this has a different feel to it. I think these next 5 minutes are critical.
Yeah, I mean they're up now, aren't they? USF, they're up for it now. The momentum, the crowd is in it. They're up for it now. They can smell blood. There's blood in the water now.
Yeah, this is tremendous, and just a tremendous moment there for the Bulls, and they certainly had it on. They certainly deserved it.
Yeah.
With the build-up, the way this was going. Mentioned that Temple team that took down the Bulls on Friday night and was headed to Louisville to play tonight, and Temple actually has taken a 1-0 lead at Louisville. So again, you want teams that beat you to keep on winning, and that's a good thing. Now, Adrian Bill Hart,
there he goes.
Company, but could he just try and take it himself? And I don't mean company, I mean company.
I think he is.
Of course he is. You called it, buddy.
He will not be looking to pass very often now, believe me.
You don't have that advantage over me anymore, Mr. Gagliardi.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see your forwards being a little bit greedy at times and being confident enough to take people on and shoot. You don't score if you don't shoot. So, that's what you want to see.
So the Bulls lead the 9-0-4 FIU Panthers 2-0 with 25.5 minutes left, but now FIU offside. Yeah, immediately with the flag raised there. Good job there by the Bulls.
Yeah, good shape from defensively. Good shape USF there. They held the line.
So the Bulls right now with Bill Hart, boy, and you got to say it. I think the decision by Bob Youthorn to pull him off the bench might have worked.
Just going to say, it's probably a good thing, I think, for him. Like you say, it took a bit of pressure off him not starting, maybe. But it also kind of fired him up to go out there and prove. And I think that's what Coach Buchon wanted, was give me a response. Show me what you can do when you come on. And he's done that great tonight.
And the man that started in his spot, Lupon, has not seen the pitch since Billhart came on for him.
Switches on again. There we go. Yeah, this is where the danger comes from.
Oh, the left wing has been there for the Bulls, and Gill has been serving in some quality passes. He's going to drop it off the Monhe this time. 24.5 minutes to go. Bulls up 2-0. On the second half goal from Adrian Billhart earlier, it was Victor Claudel. And nearly a couple of more goals by the Bulls late in the first half, but they cash in the end. Monhe now, as they're waiting for the right chance.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants the ball now. Everybody wants it to feet. It's good to see. Everyone's got their confidence right now, and they're looking to try and, get a third goal. But if not, they're being patient. Don't have to force anything. Wait for the openings.
Running the Panthers around in the process.
Yeah, it's a foul.
Josue Monhe, a professional foul taker.
Yeah. And you're going to see more of that now. FIU starting to get frustrated. They're chasing the ball around. They don't want to keep chasing. They're getting frustrated. And you're going to see more fouls coming up now.
That one was committed on. Now Gallina, I love this. This is about 30.
This is his range, isn't it?
35, and he could put it on from here.
Yeah.
He is not going to line this up just to touch it to a teammate. He is going to have a rip. This is going to be entertaining.
He will definitely hit this. The last one went about a few games ago, went about just about 2 foot over. So just needs to tone it down a little bit.
A rocket and low, and it's actually played up well by FIU, but it's going to be for a corner kick. That was a good work there by David Garcia, the freshman from Palma de Mallorca. So I'm going to assume it's the David pronunciation on him. It's going to lead to a corner, and the corner kick music, which
hasn't worked so far, but
when you're ahead 2-0, it doesn't sound quite as
they're persevering with it, which I like.
Yeah. We'll take your suggestions on new corner kick music if they don't score. But then again, they've scored on a lot of them this year. And it's going to be Rosales taking this one. Sends it across, and up for the ball is first FIU. Looked like Booth is the one who won that one. Again, Andrew Booth, a guy who leads them in scoring. One of 3 guys with 5 goals. He came in with the most assists, so still their points leader. Really, you could see his defensive skills on display there because, again, he was a defensive player. Did not so much as point his first 2 years before being called on to score more. FIU midway through the second half works it pretty well here into the center of the pitch. Bulls have to get back, and disrupting the play there is Trey Jackson. You like to see that from a forward. There's Booth, the guy we were just talking about, dropping over here. And Bob Buchhorn saying, organize. Cousins Jr. Kind of a weak ball, but it actually settles to FIU, and Devonish Mears is going to track that shot.
Yeah.
Well, no problems there off the boot of Inigo Sagardui. I was practicing the other name so much that I almost forgot how to say that one.
Well said.
Thank you. He is a midfielder, a graduate student.
What happened to those soccer players called John Smith?
I don't think we ever had them.
No. Those were the easy ones, weren't they?
21.5 minutes to go in this one. Adrian Billhart, comparatively easy name to say, has scored the goal for the Bulls here in the second half. Emilio Icasa in the center.
Yeah, they're dominating midfield tonight, aren't they? They're pulling all the strings, USF. They're, comfortable on the ball, and they've really dominated midfield, which is critical in these games.
Don't tell me it's 50-50 right now. There's just no chance.
No way.
That's the stats that we were given at halftime. Nothing against the stat people. Oh, a little bit of a miscommunication. When I say a little bit, a nearly catastrophic situation, but Harrison Devonish Mears was all over it and gets it out to center of the park. 21 minutes. We'll keep an eye on that clock closely. I guess Victor Claudel will probably come back into this game. He's been
I think both forwards will probably, won't they, at some point come back in.
I don't know if you want to pull Billhart yet. Get him another one maybe. Trey Jackson could be the guy that comes out. Over to Freddie Gill. Sends it low and across, cleared away, but for yet another corner for the Bulls. Good work there by David Garcia.
Yeah, here come the subs. Claudel's getting ready to come back in.
And Phipps.
And Phipps as well.
So I'd say Jackson comes out, but we'll see if someone else slides out for Phipps. Javane Brown trips in into the penalty box here as the corner kick music. You can tell. I don't need to tell you that it's a corner coming up here.
I'm thinking maybe change this to, what about meet me in the middle?
There you go. Flores also coming in. That could be it for Billhart. There's a ball in low by Rosales and headed out by FIU. Still in the danger area. It's going to lead to a throw. The Bulls could do the sub now if they want to. It'll be 3 guys. It'll be the starting forward. So this could be Billhart's night with 20 minutes left in it.
Yeah, both forwards coming back in. Phipps coming in out wide.
So Jackson comes out. And let's see who else is coming out. Actually, Rosales, so maybe Bill Hart does stay out there. No, he'll be.
No, he's coming back out.
He'll be the third person.
Yeah.
And I'm going to guess that he gets a big-time greeting at the bench here when he does. He needed that goal so badly, and so did the Bulls in this game. Even Sal Mazzaferro, a freshman, kind of knows what's going on. Bob Uthorn, the first coach, as Bill Hart has a big smile on his face.
And even Devonish Mears came running up from the goal to come and hug him, and just great for the whole team's relieved. I'm pleased for him.
Haven't seen him smile like that in quite some time. And he's an Instagram model. I mean, you're supposed to smile. Javane Brown, pulled away by FIU, but Javane Brown uses that sturdy frame.
I thought he got fouled, but referee played on.
Sends a great ball over to Phipps just into the game for the first time, and that's a wonderful ball in. Waiting for it is Monhay, but there was a foul in there.
Little push in the back,
Yep, knocked over a couple Panthers, so great ball by Phipps, on his
it was
first
a good
touch.
Cross, wasn't it?
All right. Bulls with 19 minutes to go, leading it 2-0, but you don't want anything untoward to happen here. And here's AG on the left foot, and Devonish Mears makes the save. Good effort there by
a great save.
Galugalika Chaberia, but it's going to be out for a corner. Bulls hold the advantage there now, 7-2. Second save of the night for Devonish Mears, but he has made some key stops of potential shots as well.
We've said that all season, haven't we? That he hasn't a number of games. He hasn't had a lot to do, but when he has, he's made some key saves, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper. It's a good save there. But USF switched off a little bit defensively, and that was hopefully a wake-up call.
The ball's in, and Devonish Mears pokes it away from an FIU Panther that was trying to head it. Ball's still around in the box, and Javane Brown sort of gathers himself in midair and boots it out 25 yards. That was tremendous athleticism. Foul called against FIU, and as there was some gathering of collisions there, you might hear someone yelling easy. That would be head coach Bob Uthorn saying, calm down, guys.
Yeah.
On two levels. Calm down on worrying about the contact, but also, okay, we can slow it down a little bit now. We got our second goal, and there's 18 minutes to go. You can pick your spots a little bit better.
Yeah. I think that's it now. It's to be a bit of...
For it! Lupon might have a spot
there
here.
It is.
Can he win the
3-0.
FIU just wins as Lupon knocked it away from the goalkeeper.
Wow.
And the FIU player, actually, Lupon helps him up, just beat him, as that was a race. And I think that Lupon didn't have the head start. David Garcia just beat him to it.
Great work from Lupon, though. I mean, that's a poacher's, forwards kind of goal or opportunity right there. Just created something out of nothing. Very unlucky there, but great hustle. It's what you want to see from your forwards. Chasing and hustling, making the defense make mistakes.
He knocked it away from the goalie, and it was on to the goal line. There's another corner kick in, headed away by FIU, but Lupon's going to maybe have a rip at it, and an FIU player sacrifices his body. Now it's back out to the top, and far post effort there by Gallina with his weaker left foot save. And Gagliardi have to check out his save totals. I'm guessing that 8 is among his highest efforts of the year.
I would think so. We've seen a few goal line clearances tonight, haven't we? The defense, FIU has had their work cut out tonight. That's a couple of times they've had to scramble back and sliding tackles, clearing off the goal line.
Most saves he's made in a match this year.
It's got to be the most this game, surely.
Probably the save category should be more prominently displayed. I'll get it to you if I can later on, but I'm not seeing it right now. Victor Claudel in with 16 minutes to go and wheels it around for a third time around a confused FIU player. Nameless for the sake of the innocent. There is a ball sent across by the Bulls again, taking their time right now. Murphy, who was dinged up earlier, looks just fine. Monhay gets it
first to everything, can't they? USF, they're first to everything. They're dictating the pace. They're bullying FIU, and really, really good performance tonight from USF. Been very, very impressed.
Oh, good touch by AG. The rest going to let it play on, then call the foul. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. They need to not switch off here, USF. Just get this shape quickly.
Gagliardi has made 6 saves in a couple of games, 7 recently in that win against Kentucky. Tonight would be his season high of 8 saves. And if you extend it out to those clearances off the line, there's been a couple of just as important situations. He did make a career high 8 last year against UAB. So there you have it. He is on his career high. Of course, the Bulls hope to force him to make a couple more. But first, this decent ball in on a free kick, but sent away by the Bulls. Lupon, who nearly scored as it was saved off the line by FIU. Now the Panthers forcing the Bulls to defend here. Oh, good cut around the ball in, but Javane Brown right there to knock it away, reading that pass in from Afrifa extremely well. Javane Brown is so tremendous. 15 minutes to go in this game. And you're looking at 3 Bulls defensive players who are freshman, sophomore. It's almost hard to believe. I'm sorry, that Murphy. I advanced him too far along. He is a junior. Let me double check. He seems like a junior. If he's a sophomore, then I go back to my previous statement. The Bulls are in great shape because they are tremendous on that back line. 14 and a half minutes settled well by FIU, and there's AG, and there's a chance, and it's knocked away, I think, almost inadvertently by a player on the ground for the Bulls, and we could have a penalty here. A FIU player was fouled. There's no pointing to the spot, and as a matter of fact, there's communication between the linesmen. This could be a penalty against the Bulls.
Yeah.
And there it is, absolutely.
Yeah. He's given a penalty.
Yeah, and now with 14 minutes and 15 seconds left, FIU rushes to the spot. You shouldn't have to rush. And
yeah, it's not what USF wanted, was it, really, at this time? And they kind of brought that on themselves a little bit there, USF.
Sure.
They just kind of sat back a little bit these last couple of minutes and made a couple of mistakes. And you don't want to give FIU any chance to get back in this.
Well, this has been their thing.
Yeah.
This is a big moment right here. And I got to say, Caleb Frank, who drew the penalty, was prone, lying on the turf, unable to get up. And then right when they pointed to the spot, he popped back up. He's fine.
He's miraculously good again. That's right.
So now the Bulls, this will be a big moment for Devonish Mears to try and keep it 2-0 against an FIU team that, again, is notoriously been able to come back in games this year. As the referee lines thing up, he basically went with his linesman there to make the call, and I did see a foul. I think it was a good call. Here's the run up, and it's off the post!
Yeah.
Justice served, as it was Inigo Sagardui who couldn't quite pull it in. Maybe a little bit of a break there, but a huge moment in the game for the Bulls. And I think, you know what, Devonish Mears might have had that.
I was just about to say, I think Devonish Mears got a fingertips to that and pushed it onto the post from here. It looked like he actually got a tip on it onto the post.
A player with a goal and 4 assists this year and was big in their early part of the season. Sagardui right off the left post. Took me a while to identify him because, again, their back of their jerseys are easy to see, but it was number 15 missing that shot. So 13 and a half minutes to go. A big moment there as the Bulls survive. You could just feel it turning around if he converts there. A big moment. Sagardui is a player who 2 years ago, kind of wild, only started 4 games but actually had 7 assists. Again, this is a team that 2 years ago went undefeated regular season, lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Then last year went 7-10 and lost their top 2 scorers from that team, but are undefeated this year.
Yeah.
Bulls about to end that, we hope, anyway.
Let's hope so. We've certainly had some goalmouth action tonight, haven't we? Boy, it's been a fantastic game to watch. There's a lot of goalmouth opportunities and shots off the line, missed penalties, a couple of good goals. It's been all action.
Oh, that's got to be in. But Devonish Mears gets in the way, and now it's poked in by FIU. And as we're talking about it, they absolutely convert, and they are running to the spot. There's still plenty of time left in this game. Trying to identify the guy. It's our man. It's our man. And it's his first goal of the year for Garagarica Echeverria with 12 and a half minutes to go. Yeah. And the Bulls might have to come up with some subs here because this lineup right here is sort of struggling through with 12 and a half minutes left.
Just see how quickly a game can change. If that penalty had gone in, we're looking at 2-2. You know, it's amazing, isn't it, how so quickly a game can change. USF has just looked so comfortable, so strong, that, you know, creating more chances, and you're thinking it's going to be 3-0. Now suddenly 2-1, could have been 2-2.
Wow. And just to recap, Bulls were up 2-0. FIU has not lost a game this year. In one of their ties, they were down 3-1 with way less time left. 5 minutes to go at Jacksonville. They got 2 goals, including the tire with just a minute left. So
yeah, I mean, they're going to
keep mentioning it.
They're going to be chasing everything now. FIU, you can see immediately. I mean, they're up for it now. They're chasing everything, and USF has to match. You have to match the aggression and the hustle. You've got to match it.
It is all on FIU's side right now. And the Bulls frankly playing like a team that thought this game was over.
Yeah. But it's key that you don't panic here. USF, they've been in control. Just got to get themselves on the ball, not give it away, keep possession.
Good ball in, out to Booth. He's been dangerous this year, and he almost strikes one in. But Harrison Devonish tips it over the bar. What a lined-up shot there by Andrew Booth. It just goes high.
He's come up with some big saves, Devonish Mears, tonight, hasn't he, when he's had to. He's made a couple of great saves.
Bulls have outshot FIU 19-11. That hardly matters right now. They're only leading 2-1. And the Panthers are feeling it right now. The man who missed the PK with a good cross in, and that's goal. Absolutely a tie game. Wow. FIU living up to its reputation. That is so impressive.
Incredible.
Nick O'Callahan.
Incredible,
knocked
isn't it?
in off the corner, and it was a perfectly served ball in.
Wow.
By FIU. And after missing that PK, Sagardui said, I don't care. And 2 goals within about a minute's time have us tied at 2. If the Bulls could call timeout right now, they would.
Yeah. It was a great corner in, wasn't it? It was a super service, and just needed a touch, and that's what it got. And I'm almost speechless here with just seeing a whole game just change in a matter of minutes.
Well, I felt like we were belaboring the point a little bit as far as how FIU is never out of a game and how they have confidence to level at the end, if not win it. But now it's justified because they have come down 2-0 with 2 goals. We'll get the exact time in between here. Those 2 goals came in a minute and a half, and 29 seconds.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of time here. Obviously, there's, you play it out with a tie. There's still a half hour possibly left in this game. There's 10.5 minutes left in regulation.
And you see what FIU has done. They've changed their formation a little bit. So they've got 3 at the back now. They've pushed the next one into midfield, and they've pushed an extra midfielder up. So they've now got at least 3 guys, attacking, much more attacking formation. And USF hasn't changed their formation to counter that.
Well, a ball runs out for a goal kick, and the Bulls will take that little break. It's just amazing. And you're right, the formation change has something to do with it. But how it just has gone from FIU having nothing on to having everything on in a span of 5 minutes.
I mean, they had that, first half, FIU was very rigid 4-4-2, as we said, and now, they're more fluent, they're more fluid, and, they've pushed an extra man or 2 up front, FIU, and they look dangerous. And it's caught USF by surprise.
Really, really has. Well, it's still a 2-2 result. Still a chance, and plenty of them, I would guess, for the Bulls. They might have to consider bringing Adrian Billhart back in. I'm going to guess that's going to happen. It's Lupon and Billhart up top. It's Ikaza. Laval just comes in for Monhe. Flanagan came in for Gill after the second goal. And, of course, Flanagan, a much better offensive threat. You keep an eye on him if he can get the ball in space.
And that's the thing, is USF has been creating chances. That if they keep doing the right thing, they are going to get their chances. So in the next, 10 minutes or so, they're going to get a chance or 2. It's whether they can take it.
Unreal switch of events. Oh, Richard Laval with some great switching there, and he tries to send it forward to Flanagan, but Gagliardi's going to get back onto the ball. All right, 9 minutes to go. Bulls have to realize it's still a tie game. Obviously, they've shown they can score against this team. Yep. Foul called on FIU. Claudel draws it well there on the right wing, about 40 yards from goal.
You think back to those couple of situations where the FIU defensively, defenders chased back and cleared it off the line. How critical those goal line clearances, are.
But something tells me, just the way they're playing, that they could have scored 3 goals if they were down 3-0. The way they just attacked there, the Bulls just weren't quite ready for it.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be a long ball in sent by Ikaza. Javane Brown, the supreme header of the ball, in the mix there for the Bulls with 8.5 minutes to go here in regulation.
They need to keep the ball alive here. Get the second ball. Ball's going to pop up in the air here from the first ball in. It's a matter of getting onto the second ball.
Good ball in by Ikaza, headed down and off of Laval. Phipps tried to gather it in. Javane Brown keeps it alive. And now he's going to think about setting it up for a teammate. Oh, good squared ball, but Ikaza loses it in the end there. FIU, all of a sudden with numbers back, has to wait for some help there forward. Popped up and popped well there by Frank. He drew that penalty. That didn't matter in the end, and he draws a foul there. I think the ref was on to him there. Remember, he drew the penalty. It was Brown there.
Yeah, that was a good tackle from Brown.
Drew the penalty. That didn't matter because it wasn't a goal. And then, how many times does that happen? You don't score on a PK, and then you score twice in the next, what would it be, 2 minutes anyway?
It was crazy, isn't it? It just looked like FIU said, you know what, we'll give you a 2-goal start, and then the last 10 minutes we'll come alive and get 2 goals back.
Unreal.
It kind of seemed like that's their strategy, and well, it's.
The Bulls have got to at least not lose this game. Of course, it's going to be a major disappointment if they have to settle for a tie, but it's much better than losing this one. Because, again, right now they are not in a spot where they would make the NCAA tournament. Their RPI sits in the upper 30s, low 40s, and FIU is at 26. So win or a draw against them would help you a lot. Loss doesn't help you. And they were ahead 2-0, looking like they were heading FIU for its first defeat, but just turned it over to Booth. Did Mazzafaro.
Yeah, that's not what you want. You don't want to turn the ball over on the halfway line.
There's Frank really coming to life and drawing a foul again there.
Yeah.
AG for FIU lays it off. Go figure, he scored the tying goal.
It's a dangerous position as well here. They're going to drop this ball in around the penalty spot area and get some late runners onto it. So this is a dangerous position. He's going to swing this in left-footed, so it's going to curl in towards the penalty spot.
Ferris will take the ball from the left side. From the right side, from his left foot. And he sends it right into the middle. That's dangerous. Headed down and away by the Bulls, though. Good job. Didn't see who that was, but it was a good header. 6 minutes to go. Regulation. Yeah, Adrian Billhart's going to come back in. Wouldn't that be something? Another ball sent in quality, but skied there by Richard Laval. And now the Bulls might have something on. Gallina steps into a pocket. Over to Ikaza. Sends it up long for Flanagan's going to put his head down, try and outchase the FIU player, and he's going to earn the throw in.
Yep.
Good job there. Yeah. The Bulls can make the substitution.
Yeah, it was a good ball from Mikauza. Got Flanagan running and put the ball down in that final third.
So Billhart, who has the goal, his first in 2 seasons, in for Lupon, with 5.5 minutes to go.
Billhart to come on in and score the winner. How's that for a happy ending?
I would take it. Looked like it was going to be the happy ending when it made it 2-0. Did Billhart on a beautiful free kick, but nothing since then for the Bulls. Just 2 goals for FIU. Ball sent over to Gallina. Has a man supporting. Murphy drops it back to him. Bulls a little bit shell-shocked, but looking more comfortable now, so that's good. Flanagan makes himself available, and a long ball. Oh, great first touch, but he was offside.
Yeah.
So the Bulls will have to get back on defense with less than 5 minutes to go.
Again, no reason for Flanagan to be offside there. There was plenty of space, plenty of time for him to just look along the line of FIU's defence and just get himself onside. It was a shame because he was in good position there to get a good cross in.
Derek Sharp, Alan Anderson on this quite dramatic game where it looked like the Bulls were going to have a fun time, and they indeed were. But now FIU pushing up on the left wing, and Phipps has to get back. He does, and he clears the ball sky high in the air. But boy, you got to be careful here. Oh, that's a chance for FIU, and it was saved by Devonish Mears as Caleb Frank had a clean look and just couldn't quite connect fast enough. Oh, Billhart squares off a player and now has the ball on his foot. Bulls looking to answer on the other end, but it's cleared away well.
End to end right now, isn't it? It's both teams looking to win this game.
David Garcia. FIU player falls down. The Bulls, can they take advantage? Over to Billhart. Touches it to his left as he caused a breaking in, but wheels it back around to the right side where Gordon Phipps has been in this game for a while. Basically taking the spot of Rosales out there. A little bit surprised we haven't seen Jonathan come back in the game. 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Bulls looking to possess it and at least see it out to the end of regulation here. Maybe get a couple chances to win it themselves here at home. Ball up and it gets away from the Bulls, but it's going to be kicked right out of bounds by FIU. Kind of a wasted chance there for the Panthers. They have slowed their pace down a little bit predictably.
Yeah, they've sort of gone back into a more defensive shape now as well.
Ikaza over to Phipps. FIU players have their hands up. They might want to play defense, and they do actually, as it was sent away by O'Callaghan.
Yeah, shame. Phipps, Phipps has to miss out the first defender there, get the ball past the first defender, and then there's a chance.
Brown heads it down beautifully to Gallina. Billhart tries to scoot around. That guy who's been in the middle of everything right now, Nick O'Callaghan for FIU. Now up to Frank, who's been a thorn and absolutely takes a flap. And the FIU coaches completely jump off the bench. This official knows that Caleb Frank's a flopper.
Yeah.
He flew to the ground.
I think he just he overdid it, didn't he? If he had just gone down, but it was a full-blown, like you say, a full-blown dive there, and the referee's not going to have that.
And again, he was the one who drew the penalty and was fine after the foul call. Once he realized they'd gotten the penalty kick, he popped right back up. 2.5 minutes to go. Bulls have the ball back after all that. The FIU coaches are demanding some sort of compensation, but it's not going to happen. Victor Claudel, good move there, but chased down well by the big hulking defender there for FIU. Ball up for Ikaza. Drops it to Flanagan.
Yeah, Phipps
he's
is on
got a
the other
man
side.
right on the right side. It's Phipps, but Bill Hart doesn't see him. Man, oh man.
Tried to
Man, oh,
get
man.
Ikaza in, and Phipps was the better option there.
Now that's a foul, and
Yep.
give credit to Frifa for just taking a foul. And I think we're going to get a conversation here with the head official.
He's coming over to talk to the FIU coaches here, who have got a little bit too vocal.
I think this might be the, hey.
There's a card coming by looks of it.
Yep. And it's going to be a card issued to the head coach of FIU. 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go in regulation. Bulls were up 2-0. And boy, the coach is, actually that's their assistant, I want to say. Either way, it doesn't matter. The point is the bench is getting a little riled up here for FIU. Wow, this has gotten so intense here.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows you what's on this game, isn't it? You know, both teams, you know, it's not a conference game, but you can see what it means to both teams.
Jacob Rylander. We got a fan in the stands bringing out his red card, but
Yep.
that's not going to count. Less than 2 minutes to go. Good ball up by Guyena. Claudel trying to get onto the end of it. He's got Rylander, the
Handball.
big defensive player, all over him. There was a handball.
Just
Jacob
bounced up and
Rylander.
caught his hand. Shame.
Jacob Rylander listed at 5'11", looks a lot bigger than theirs, at least compared to Claudel. Anyway, 90 seconds to go in regulation, tied at 2. It feels like the Bulls would be behind right now, but they're not. You certainly don't want to give up anything crazy late here. Again, the Panthers went on a 3-game road trip before they came back home scoreless. Draw with Charlotte the other night. Won it or tied it late. And there is a foul committed on Ikaza with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. About 30 yards from goal, so nothing extremely dangerous here. But the way it's been going, you got to watch these services. And FIU is going to take its time here and line up for one big chance left in regulation. It'll be Javi Ferris.
Yeah, you just that was tired legs from Ikaza, and you just don't want to give away, free kicks where they got a chance now, FIU, to put this ball in the penalty area. It's got to be careful here.
Xavi Ferris with 40 seconds left, left footer. That's a good high ball, and Devonish Mears has it measured.
Yeah.
And now he wants to break it the other way. Bill Hart 1-on-4. Doesn't exactly have the numbers in his favor, but he's feeling it. He's got Claudel running, and he's going to try and get it over the goalkeeper, and actually got it past him, but wide. The net was empty, and I think that was what the yelling was about. I thought it was for Claudel breaking down the left side, but that's going to do it for regulation. At least you would think here, unless the Bulls can make a crazy steal. I'll tell you what, the wind has slowed down. I was about to say the coin toss in overtime's normally not a big deal, but I think both teams would want to go left to right here. 5 seconds to go in regulation, and that is going to end 90 minutes. So,
wow,
it has been quite eventful. You got to give full marks to FIU, a team that looked down and out, but apparently
chance to get our breath back here. I mean, it was.
I need it.
That second half had everything in it, and as I say, I'm still just so surprised at how the game changed in just a matter of minutes. USF looked so comfortable, did everything, doing everything right, played the game, had their game plan down to perfection. They were creating chances, they looked dangerous. You just kept thinking it's going to be a third and maybe even a fourth goal coming. And then it changed, didn't it? The penalty, and then 2 goals right after that from FIU. There's a belief in this FIU team that no matter how many goals they're down, they can always come back. And you got to, like you say, you got to take your hat off to FIU for not dropping their heads, continuing to push, and getting those 2 goals. Sets up perfectly now, doesn't it?
It was a rebound put home by Galika Cheberia, and then the goal by O'Callahan. Perfect bounce back in off the corner kick, and that's why we're at 2-2. So it's even. It's all going to be about who responds here in the next 20.
Yeah.
We should mention that they've been to overtime 5 times, and only once was there a winner, and it was FIU. So a tie is possible here. I think the Bulls are not going to be interested in playing for that result. So we'll have the however many minutes are left. It's a maximum of 20. Again, 2 if there's no scoring. 2 10-minute sudden death, golden goal, whatever your viewpoint is. I guess it's if you win it or lose it. Coming up next, it's 2 apiece at the end of 90 minutes. Stay tuned. This is men's soccer on USF Bulls Unlimited.
Wow.
Derek Sharp with Alan Anderson as the teams pop back out. The coin toss, I guess. You really, if you want to go left to right because both these teams have had more success. Especially FIU's got to be feeling that way. But outside of that,
Yeah.
The strategy is the key point here.
I think so. I think so.
How do you
Yeah.
approach it?
I think it's interesting. We were just talking. Do you come out aggressive? Try and attack and get a quick goal and put the game away, and maybe leave yourself a little bit exposed defensively, or do you maybe bunker in a little bit and then try and counter. So it's going to be interesting how both these teams start. Me personally, I think when it gets to golden goal, you're in that sudden death mentality. You got to attack. You got to go and try and win the game, and that's what I'd like to see USF here. Be aggressive, be confident, create some chances and go try and win the game.
Well, this is interesting. FIU is kicking the ball off, which means USF won the toss, but they're going right to left, so completely ignoring my suggestion there. Now let's see who they have out there. And again, they've played 5 matches in overtime, 4 draws, and the 1 win was a couple of games ago. It's FGCU. We're talking about the visitors from Miami, FIU. Bulls have not gone to overtime this year. And they won that game, by the way, midway through the second overtime. So the Bulls have Claudel and Billhart together out there for the first time, really, as a starting group. Rosales is back out there, so they're going with their guys now.
Yeah, it's attacking lineup, isn't it? And they're going to try and, hopefully, create some quick chances and put the game away.
Adrian Billhart had the second goal for the Bulls. Victor Claudel had the first in the first half. Bulls had so many chances to put this one away, although you would have felt 2-0 was good enough, but not enough against this FIU team. I guess the new rule is you got to have them by 3 before you can beat them, because no one has beaten them yet. Outside of that, good ball up by Guerrero to Flanagan, but it's knocked away by Rylander.
That's the outlet, though. That's the play.
Yes, it is. Now the Bulls
I think also if you're coach, you're going to tell Billhart and you're going to tell Claudel to when you get the balls to go at FIU, go at their defense, take them on, and you get in the penalty area. You get fouled, it's a penalty. And the referee, sometimes these referees look to even it up. They've given a penalty to FIU. See a guy go down, maybe give USF a penalty.
Frank, who drew it for FIU and has been dangerous on that right wing, turns it over there. He drew the penalty that did not result in a goal, but still FIU was able to come back and score twice in a span of 90 seconds to send this one to overtime, tied at 2. We're a minute into the first overtime. Again, a goal wins it. If no one scores in these 10 minutes, we'll switch sides and play a maximum of 10 more minutes, and if it's tied, no one scores, then it'll be a draw. It would be a good result in the end for the Bulls, big picture, but in the course of this game, not so much because they were up 2-0.
Yeah, I think they'll be a bit disappointed, won't they, USF, with a tie, having played so well for pretty much the whole game. I think a tie here is they'll feel that they let it go a little bit.
There's a club team off to my left. They looked to get up at the end of regulation, and they all sat back down like, we're not leaving. I think they weren't sure if it was a tie situation through 90. No one wants to leave this one. Uh-oh, Frank. He's in the middle. He's going to backheel it. I thought he should have had a rip there. The Bulls will take that pass. It was to nobody. Wow, I think that was a break. He had a shot on if he had let it roll out. Good ball up by Rosales. Can Bill Hart settle it down? Not quite. Oh, you hear the fans and the crowd and the benches reacting to every near miss right now.
Yeah, Coach is trying to get his guys to push up as well. They're sitting a little bit deep. I don't know if that's tiredness right now, but they're just sitting back a little bit deeper, and it's causing some issues for the midfield to get up. They can't get up and support the forwards as much.
Sagardui, he has been a presence here in this comeback for FIU, hasn't, and is going to drift towards the penalty box and offside. Boy, that's a narrow call that went the Bulls' way there.
That's a giveaway. That one. That's good for USF right there.
The free throw was just barely offside. Looks like Lupin and Jackson, a couple of forwards, warming up for the Bulls. So, do we dare see a 3-forward alignment possibly? Something that we haven't seen from Bob Butehorn this year. Claudel. And does he win that ball? FIU swears it went off of Claudel, and they're right.
They're looking at each other, the linesman and the referee, going, well, your call. No, you call it. I'll call it. You call it.
Well, if they were going based on FIU's suggestion, then it was going to be an easy call. Oh, Mazzaferro holding strong there against AG. Now has to. We have a player down.
Player down.
That might explain why Rosales was out for as long as he was, because he is down on the other end. I'm sorry, that's Murphy. That's Murphy.
Yeah.
He's holding his left leg. Good play out of the ball there, and they're going to call the trainers out.
He got caught, didn't he, early in the game? But it didn't seem like that had a lasting effect. So I'm not sure if this is cramp or just a muscle strain.
We'll scroll through the scores as far as the conference goes. Against 6 teams playing tonight, UCF would be the one that is not playing. Temple ends up going to Louisville and winning 2-1. So again, that loss to Temple. Forget that being a bad loss for the Bulls.
Yeah.
SMU is up 4-0 at the half against Stetson. And so they've responded to losing for the first time this year. Temple's go, by the way, in the 87th minute as they're looking at Marcus Murphy on the other end. Cincinnati falls to IUPUI, and that's the team Cincinnati that, frankly, looking beyond the UCF game. If the Bulls beat Cincinnati, they've gone ahead and secured a spot in the conference tournament. They want to do a lot more than that. Wow. I got to say, this is shocking. I didn't even do any research on Central Arkansas, but Central Arkansas is leading Memphis 3-0. That is a stunning, stunning score, unless out of nowhere Central Arkansas is having a good season. Well, Marcus Murphy is certainly not walking like someone that's going to play again tonight.
Yeah, he's looks like that's either a cramp or a muscle strain, but I think he's done for the night.
Well, let's hope it's just a cramp, because if it's not a cramp, then the way he's walking right now would lead me to believe that he's injured himself.
Yeah.
Central Arkansas 7-5-1 leading Memphis. I got to say, it's a shocker. Memphis, the team that just beat SMU. Maybe they're playing their second spring, but goodness gracious. Either way, back here as Murphy comes out, and it'll be Sergio Penos Mayorga coming in, another freshman on the back line.
Yeah.
And he's a solid player, but Murphy is going to be missed. Now let's see how they play this. Are all bets off? Okay, FIU is going to play the ball back into the corner where it was with Mazzaferro, so they're going to recreate the situation here, and Mazzaferro basically played the ball exactly what he wanted to, but Booth intercepts it, so FIU did not let the Bulls have a free out there.
They didn't give him an easy out there, did they?
Nope. It's like in match play in golf. No, you're going to go ahead and putt that 8-inch putt, buddy.
Yeah.
See if you can make it. If you can't, we'll take the win. But the Bulls get it up to midfield. Adrian Billhart pokes his leg out to maintain possession across from us on the right side. Bulls going right to left. Tied at 2.
See how deep Billhart is dropping though back, to get the ball, and that's fine. But again, you're losing that forward now, being up top. So want to see Billhart a little bit further up the field, really.
Yeah,
picking the ball up a bit further on the stripe.
Sends it right back out to him on the left side. Flanagan is dangerous from here. Rylander's going to pop out on him.
Got to take him on.
He's known for his moves. That's a good move and a good low shot. And there's a rebound. And it's played away by Rylander. Yeah. It's going to be a corner kick. Great shot.
He has the beating of that FIU defender all night long. Pace, skill. He can beat him coming on the inside or going on the outside and putting a cross in.
It was right at the keeper, but it had so much pace on him pace on it that he couldn't play it. So it's going to be a corner by Rosales deep, and boy, that looks like Paneros Mayorga. The ball's in the middle of the box, and it was actually backheeled, I think, by the Bulls. It's going to go out for a goal kick. Yeah. We are halfway through the first period of overtime.
Unfortunately, it came off Ikaza, didn't it? That could have gone anywhere. That's good, though. Good spell. Last couple of minutes for USF. Bringing some fresh legs in now as well. It's been a good little spell this last couple of minutes for USF. Hopefully they can get another couple of chances and make it count.
Interesting. Midway through the first period of overtime, you see 2 forward substitutions. So it'll be Lupon and Jackson.
Brown's down as well, isn't he?
Jermaine Brown. Man, oh man, this is not a good overtime period for the Bulls. Again, don't want to get over dramatic here, but
you've already lost Murphy. Now Brown is hurt, and you also got one eye on the game against UCF coming up as well. So, there's 2 of your key starting defenders
against a
very dangerous team. So, that's the flip side, isn't it? You want to win this game, but you obviously don't want to lose some of your key starters, particularly in defense, where, all year they've been able to play pretty much the same back line.
So no matter what happens here, the result of FIU coming back in this game could have long-lasting effects. Now, fortunately, Javane Brown pops up a little bit quicker, but he's walking similar to Murphy, except a little faster.
He's got the same walk as Murphy, yeah.
Okay. Maybe it is a cramp. They're both kind of holding their groin area too, so maybe that's all it is. But again, you want these guys to not miss that game against UCF. And again, we would not be having these injuries. We would not be having this overtime if it weren't for the fact that FIU came back from down 2-0.
Yeah.
Brown doesn't want to go off.
Well, the problem is that, it might only be a strain right now, but if he goes back on and then, a sudden movement, you sprint and suddenly it goes and that's it for the season. So you have to be careful.
Well, he is limping a lot, noticeably, to the center of the park, but he wants to go back in, so I guess he's okay. All right, so that's not nearly as serious as the situation with Murphy. Good news. So Javane Brown back out there in the center of the Bulls' defense again, Paneros Mayorga. Oh, that's a long ball up, and this could be dangerous. It's a chip properly, but Devonish Mears makes a final save.
Great save.
Wow, that was huge.
It was. He made himself big there, didn't he? Spread himself, made himself big, and come up with a fantastic save. Both keepers tonight have had excellent games.
It was a free-for with a chance to end it, tried to get to the ball, but Devonish Mears made himself big, and that was a big moment with about 4:45 left in overtime. Actually, the player is injured. They're going to have to play the ball out here. FIU, their player is a good 20 yards offside. Well, they're going to play it around and see if he can pop back into the field to play in the interim. I've always tried that, if you miss on a game-winning goal, make it seem like you were hurt. And it actually hurts FIU because they lose the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
And now the Bulls will have a throw-in on their defensive third, or at least approaching it. That's Rosales out there with the quick throw to Jackson just in. Almost loses it, but gets it back to Ikaza. Back to Mayorga. It's not a bad ball up idea anyway to Lupon, but played back across midfield by FIU. Good work there by Mayorga for the Bulls.
Handball.
Bulls call for a foul, a handball. I'm sorry, good call there.
Yeah, it's one of those times in the game now where, is it going to be a mistake that gives up a goal, because both teams are looking tired now, understandably so.
Well, ball not cleared away. Guerrero intercepts it. Diego in. Chippy at the top of the box.
Yep.
Looks to, of course, Flanagan. And a left-footed cross in. Jackson tries to rise for it, but Gagliardi was there to make the stop. And now the Bulls have to get back. 3:15 to go. And now FIU with some pep in its step. Danger on the left wing. Ball sent into the middle, and Mazzaferro has it lined up for a header out of the penalty box. 3 minutes to go in the first overtime. Bulls and Panthers clearly not interested in finishing this one tied at 2.
Yeah,
Even though if you're the Panthers, you got to think you're kind of playing with house money a little bit.
Yeah, but you can't fault the effort, both teams.
Oh, a long shot!
He's going for it.
And Ikaza saw the goalkeeper out again. And if that was with the wind, who knows? But I'm going to guess that the coaching staff of FIU tells Daniel Gagliardi, hey, buddy.
I think he almost, I dare you. I dare you to try it. He looks very confident, Gagliardi. He drifts out of his goal mouth and says, hey, if you want to try it, go ahead. But maybe
a 50-yard shot.
But
maybe on Flanagan with a very pained look on his face as he gets subbed out for Freddie Gill. The Bulls have made a couple, 4 or 5 substitutions in this overtime period. 2 minutes and change left in it. Guerrero gets the ball. FIU battling for it. That's Hassan out there. Someone's trying to get ahead on it, maybe win some possession here for the Bulls. That'd be Mazzaferro. Good turn there by Lupon, and he's going to earn a throw in.
Yeah, well done. Well done. That's it. I mean, just those are the little 50-50s. You've got to keep winning those 50-50 battles, keep getting the pieces, and then hopefully, as I say, create some chances going forward.
Oh, Guerrero with a nice steal. He's got Jackson in front of him, lays it off to Akaza. 1.5 minutes to go in overtime. Akaza up to Trey Jackson. They've got Rosales unmarked on the right. Over to him. He's able to send some good balls in. That's a nice one. Lupon tries to get onto it.
Still
it
alive.
Goes through to Chippy, though. I'm sorry, that's Gill. And that ball is headed out by Rylander. Hassan gets it back down for FIU, and the Panthers are going to win it.
Yep.
Wow, good ball in by Rosales. And another one by Gill.
Yeah, it's USF getting on top again now, isn't it?
Absolutely. And Javane Brown, I guess his groin's okay because he just
Yeah,
knocked the ball
ball.
up the park 50 yards, and Gill loses
Great
it.
ball from Brown, though, wasn't it? Right on the money.
Gill loses it. Tough ball to play in. FIU just tried the old throw in 10 yards up from where the ball went out of bounds, but this official not having it. Taking about 15 seconds off the clock before throwing it in with 50 seconds left in the first overtime. Again, good steal by Guerrero.
He's come up with a few,
Sends
hasn't he?
it up to
the last 5
Lupon.
minutes?
He's got Jackson in front of him, sends it back to Akaza instead. Maybe a long ball, can't quite control it. 35 seconds left. Now FIU has 1-on-3. You like the Bulls' chances there with Mazzaferro playing some good defense. Can Gill get it? No, he loses it again. Sagardui wins it for FIU. Now he wants the ball back quickly with 20 seconds left, so interesting there that FIU wants to do something. It's a bad pass. Ikaza, I thought he had a player, but he's going to send it back to Rosales. Pineros Mayorga with 10 seconds on the first overtime clock to Rosales. About 50 from goal. He's going to try and send a long ball in. Over to Jackson. It's not a bad one, but no one's going to be on the end of it. So that is going to be the first overtime period in the books. They're going to put 2 minutes up on the clock. We will be back with the conclusion. Certainly anybody's guess right now.
It is. You don't want this to end, do you? It's fantastic. Great excitement, goalmouth action, both ends, crowds into it. Nobody wants this to finish.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left at maximum of this thrilling game, tied at 2. This is men's soccer on USF Bulls Unlimited.
Stick around to see some more action from your USF men's soccer team.
Derek Sharp, Alan Anderson. We are heading into the second overtime. It's been a wild game. Bulls led it 2-0. First half goal from Victor Claudel on a good service from Avion Flanagan. And Adrian Billhart ends a 2-season Schneid by scoring on a beautiful free kick. At the time, it looked like game over. Bulls had a couple of balls get cleared off the line when it was still 2-0, and you thought, well, that's all right. That'll just be cosmetic. And nope, FIU, even after missing on a penalty kick, still scored 2 goals, just absolutely pouring forward like they haven't since to force this overtime. Again, a team that recently on a 3-game road trip either won it or tied it late in regulation or overtime and has not lost all season. Still hasn't lost. The Bulls looking to end that.
Yeah, it can be a cruel game at times, can't it? You know, USF looked so comfortable there, 2 up, looking like they were going to score a few more. And all of a sudden, within 5 minutes, the whole game changed. So, it's definitely been a terrific game to watch. And, hopefully USF can pull this out still.
Enrique Ayena with some good work there to start off the second overtime. But FIU clears it away. And the Panthers are upset about a foul that was just called a foul, a common foul, not a card. But the Panthers will get a free kick right at midfield. Adrian Billhart will hold up, not give them the 10 yards. Might want to not worry about playing the clock so much here, Adrian. And one thing that happened there, while everything was going on, we were semi-speechless as FIU scored it. Someone stood up and looked at me like, what the? I realized it was Denise Schulte-Brown, the women's soccer coach. I'm like, I know, Coach, I know.
Yeah.
Her team will be headed to Cincinnati tomorrow. The ball looked like it was out of bounds. You heard the fans, the refs in the stands.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a FIU player jumping in and stalling the Bulls' efforts to quickly restart it. That'd be Jordi Avila. So you've got a little gamesmanship going on here, along with everything else that's been going on in this game. Javain Brown could have been in trouble, but dribbled it to himself and gets it up to midfield. Ikaza nicely to Rosales. Boy, the Bulls have Freddie Gill alone on the left side. I think Ikaza sees it, but instead slots it in the middle. Gallina back to Billhart, too much on it. It'll be UCF ball. Conde loses it. No. There's Billhart. Oh, they call a foul.
Oh, that was a late call.
So Mohamed Conde gets the call that he was asking for about a minute ago.
Yeah, I thought he played on the referee there. That was a late call, but I don't think it was a foul for me. Then again, very rarely do I think it's a foul.
8 minutes to go in the second overtime now. It is interesting to note that FIU has been slowing it down a little bit here.
Yeah.
Do they seemingly maybe be satisfied with, when you're down 2-0, grabbing a point here?
Yeah, it's again, tactics wise, isn't it? It's what do you do here? Do you stick on what you have, or do you twist and go for that winning goal? It's it just takes one mistake or one bit of brilliance.
Conde just unwittingly hit a ball hit the back of his heel. It was on the throw by Devonish Mears, but now FIU has it the other way. Paneros Mayorga with the big steal there for the Bulls. This crowd is really reacting to everything. You got to love this, including everyone calling for a Bulls throw, and it is. And of course FIU runs down the pitch with it 10 yards. Yeah. You can't do that. Boy, they're starting to gamesmanship a little too much here.
Space on the other side.
Gallina looking on the other side instead in the center to Gill, and he's absolutely 100% fouled, and this is a chance for the Bulls. Clock will stop with 7:04 to go. It looks like FIU's playing the refs a little bit too much here instead of playing the game, and they get a card for it. Maybe the Bulls can make the Panthers pay for that foul.
Yeah, it's all happening, isn't it?
It is all happening.
It's all happening at the moment. It's the crowd's getting up on their feet, and just going to take one bit of skill or one shot on get it on target.
It might be. What do you think here? It might be too far to realistically try a shot. I mean, if you were trying to add to a lead here, but these are scoring situations you want to take full advantage of, and we're talking about 32, 33 yards from goal.
Yeah, I think if it's Gallina in there, and then you, no question. But
well, Gallina, is he not in the game right now? I do not see him. Okay, no, he's in there at the start of overtime, in the second overtime. No, where is he? He's got to be out there. No, he's not. No,
I don't think he's out there. I think he went out. So.
It was, you know what? It was Laval doing his Gallina impression. They resemble each other, so that's who started off.
No, I think.
Well, I think the fact that Javain Brown's up there means that they might try and serve it onto someone's head here. You got Claudel. Rosales, and that is towards Javain Brown, and it's skied for by the goalkeeper. Good job there by Gagliardi. Absolutely. Now a great service out, and there is Frank, and he's going to cut it. Player was offside. They didn't. Okay, I was going to say, goodness, we could see that from here. That was a little bit of a late flag, but the right call in the end. Guerrero up, and a well-turned on ball by, that is going to be, now that is Gallina. He was just hanging off to the left. Maybe he was going to head it there, but instead went to Javain Brown. Ball sent in by Gill, played away by FIU.
Game's so exciting, we're not sure who's in and who's out at the moment.
They're similar physiques, and they're 4 and 6. And that is definitely
numbers,
4.
Isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, with these SoFlo a little bit. 4 of Gallina for sure. 6:20 to go in the game. Unless someone scores before that time elapsed with a golden goal. Oh, Ikaza gets the ball over to Gill. Sent in low, but knocked away by FIU for a corner kick.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to love the chances here. Javain Brown's going to sprint up from back and try and get on the end of it. We've been talking about Gallina. He's got a dangerous head as well. And if you're, it looks like Jonathan Rosales. Again, Flanagan took himself out of this game. Will the corner kick music?
They need to keep it away from the 6-yard box because Gagliardi will come for it. So
there's Rosales, and they do it, and it's headed down by Ikaza, I believe that was. No, I'm sorry, that was Gallina. It doesn't matter. It's sent out by FIU. Bulls will get a throw here.
Yeah, that's the spot. Is you got to hit between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, somewhere in between there, and then the keeper won't come.
Guerrero is calling for, I guess, their long throw artist. That would be Freddie Gill, to come on and take this throw with 5.5 minutes to go in the contest. We are in double overtime. Bulls are up 2-0 against the undefeated FIU Panthers. Gallina on goal to Claudel Lowe, and Gagliardi had no issues there. Again, he's a tall guy, 6'3", but had no problems getting those mitts on the ground.
Yeah.
What did you say before? His
Good
gloves
skill.
drag the ground a little bit sometimes. He's just got such long arms.
Yeah.
So we have hit the midway point of the second overtime. And again, a team that's used to going the full 20 in overtime with 4 ties, but never having surrendered a walk-off goal is FIU. Ball is played off of the head of an FIU player, but fortunately for the Bulls, Gill was ready to get back there as Sagardui didn't get a chance to do anything with it. FIU tries to build on the right side. Push by a Bulls player, not called a foul. 4.5 minutes left in double overtime. FIU looks to switch, and they can't keep it in bounds. That's Avila not able to play it.
Big factor
for
now,
sure.
isn't it? You know,
Both
and
sides.
I think coaches are going to start thinking, you know, do we stick with what we have and not make a mistake?
Ball bounces out. Can Cadell get to it?
Chance.
He will. He's going to cut it back to his right foot. He's so dangerous from there. Oh, Bill Hart had to hold his run. It was the right idea by Claudel because Bill Hart was going to break in, but too much on it. Another good throw by Gagliardi, but it bounces out of bounds.
I'd like to see Claudel take the shot, though, there. I mean, at this time in the game, take a shot, have a chance, you know, take the risk. And, you know, gets a deflection, anything could happen.
4 minutes to go, a little bit less. Gill, nice ball in. Gallina heads it out. That's Claudel. Maybe he'll have a rip now, and it's blocked by FIU very, very well. FIU will break out with it. That is going to be Hondi. And he looks like he's got some intentions right now. This is the ball played in, and sweeping in to clear it away is Mazzaferro. It was a good bit of combination there by the Panthers, Afrifa and Conde. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second overtime. We will have a recalibration by the ref again, FIU.
He's very strict on that, isn't he, tonight, the ref?
Yeah, especially in this situation. The guy wanted to throw the ball in near the level of the penalty box, top of the box, but instead it was about 25 yards away. Well ridden out by Javane Brown. You do not want to give up any corner kick. Shots favor the Bulls 22-14, but again, when they were ahead 2-0, it was a similar margin, and FIU just closed it right away when they needed
night, though,
to.
Isn't it? Great night for attacking soccer. You know, your 36 shots on goal. You know, it's been a great night, great advertisement for college soccer.
Again, there will be no PKs. There will be a draw if no one scores in the next 240. Once you get to the postseason, namely conference tournaments, NCAA tournament, of course, you can't have ties. But in the regular season, they give you basically 20 minutes. If you're even through 90, let's give you 20 more minutes to win it, or, we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
And right now, the Bulls are hoping to keep this threat out. Caleb Frankie's been pretty dangerous. Cuts it back. FIU has it on the right side of the penalty box. That's a good service. And, Panther wound up for a header but could not get on the end of it. Wow. Goal kick Bulls with about 2 minutes to go.
It was a good ball in, wasn't it? And that was a dangerous area.
Bulls coaches all sort of jump out on the field to give that visual reminder of let's go, let's do this.
Both teams on the sidelines very animated, aren't they?
Minute and 50 seconds. Gallina tries to go up for a header, but Hassan wins it for FIU, but it's going to go out of bounds. Bulls throw.
Is there time for one more chance?
Good throw by Paneros Mayorga. Headed out of bounds again by FIU. Boy, the freshman from Tampa is really getting in on these throws. The Bulls try to do a little FIU treatment there and move up the throw in. Rosales gets it to Ikaza, and a good low ball. Great idea by Bill Hart. He can't quite connect with Gill, who was leaning the wrong direction, or that could have been something on for the Bulls. That's a foul on Bill Hart, and that's going to be a stoppage of play and a card. And the ref stops the clock. FIU wanted to do a quick restart with 1:19, but there's going to be a card issued Bill Hart here. So that's the second time that a team has been carded for that tug of the jersey. And it's gone both ways, which is fine. And the clock is stopped again with 1:19 to go. Everyone for every team is basically in the penalty box except for 2 FIU players and the keeper. Okay, 3 players. Bulls have to watch out here. Adrian Billhart didn't want, of course, to have FIU get a run on there, but now you feel regretful if they turn this into something. But they go short with it to Avila, and they're going to try and work something up at the right with Raylander. Minute and 15. off of this free kick situation. And now is a chip into the box, and it's going to be headed away nicely. Boy, Mayorga has been on top of it once he's entered this game. There's a lofted ball in.
Gone over. Yeah.
And that might be the last chance for FIU. And very observant here, or interesting to observe, the Bulls are trying to push it up with less than a minute to go. They do not want to tie this game.
No, just get the ball up the field quickly. Try and get get the first header, pick up the pieces, and then try and create something. Right here, get the first header.
Good boot by Devonish Mears. Even though Gallina loses it, he still bicycles it into the third of FIU, but it's headed back by the Panthers onto Conde. And now they have something up here on the left side. Javane Brown clears it out, but with just 33 seconds left, this may be the last chance, and it goes to the visitors. Boy, they've had such late drama here. You would just take these last 25 seconds and settle for 2-2. Here's the throw in. Can the Bulls clear it out? Ikaza gets it high in the air. FIU tries to bounce over the Bulls for a header, and now it's knocked out. 15 seconds. All the Bulls are back. FIU with one last push here. Over to the right side, Rylander. 10 seconds. Long ball in. Play by Ikaza. And Gallina's going to have it. He's going to have a go, and that's a long shot by Gagliardi. Will play it at the horn. So that is going to be the end of that. Well, FIU still undefeated. If you'd have told the Bulls, hey, you would pull a draw off against FIU, they would have been happy. But I think, Alan, the way it unfolded, there's still a little bit of a lingering disappointment.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I thought the tactics, Coach Buthorn, spot on tonight. Did everything. The team did everything. The boys gave him everything. Rebounded after the defeat on the road and just did everything right. And it could have been 4 or 5, couldn't it? I mean, a couple of clearances off the line. The keeper made some unbelievable saves.
Yep.
Could easily have been 4 or 5-0 USF, and then with just that little spell, 5 minutes, and you got to take your hat off to FIU.
Sure
they definitely kept believing in it, and once they got that first goal, even the penalty. Once they got the penalty, even though they missed it, they didn't drop their heads. They came straight back and scored, and then scored again. And fantastic game. Really, really enjoyed tonight. It was a really, really good game to watch, end to end. Both teams trying to win the game, and really, really good stuff tonight.
So I guess the secret to beating FIU is you have to go up by 3 against them, because a 2-goal lead is not safe against the Panthers. So
I think you have to score the winner with about 30 seconds to go.
Don't give them any time to answer. Bulls had an 8-3 shots advantage at the half, and FIU outshot them 9-8 in the second half. Got those 2 goals in the 78th minute, and then 90 seconds later tied it up, and that was the end of the scoring. It was also great that Adrian Billhart got a first goal in a couple of seasons, and Victor Claudel got his 3rd goal. So records-wise, Bulls sit on 8-4-1, FIU 9-0-5. The Panthers are still undefeated. Hey, remember, Saturday night, 7 o'clock on Bulls Unlimited 2. We'll be back on the air with USF hosting UCF, looking to get back into the conference race. So believe me, this is a good outcome for the Bulls in the grand scheme of things, even though they were ahead 2-0.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. Could have lost the game.
That's right. Yeah, it's critical now that USF, get some rest. Kind of look at the game here and, some things that went on and stuff. And, take a positive mind, frame of mind into the game against UCF now. It's, got a few days to kind of work on some things in practice. As I say, get some rest, come out firing for the game Saturday night. It's going to be a great game. It's both teams. It's going to be a terrific game to watch.
That will be on Saturday night. So the Bulls end up tying this one. Thank you to my partner, Alan Anderson. Thank you all for listening. I'm Derek Sharp. One last time, the final score from Corbett Stadium. USF 2, FIU